craziest thing is, I don't know if Bird remembers, we sat on Kaiser in Mississauga talking about how one day we're going to do Punjabi music and I'm going to rap and he's going to produce some Punjabi music. I remember that conversation distinctly.
Welcome to a very special episode of F&F Podcast. We have a guest here today that I'm really excited about. He's someone that I've had on my list for this show before we started the show. He's somebody we had to sit down with and talk to. Why it's taken us 2 years to get him on, or 2 seasons, I'm going to blame the guy to my left, Jay Static.
I think it's perfect timing, buddy. I think it's we have some stuff to talk about in this show that makes sense for why he's on this show right now.
He's a busy man. He's performing, he's touring, he's getting nominated for awards. But today he has time. So let's all make some noise for world-famous rapper and lyricist and songwriter.
Yo, that's the longest intro ever.
Yeah.
Fateh, welcome to the building, man. Make some noise.
Thank you.
Everybody in the room, make some noise. Come on, let's go.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
Thank you, Fateh, for being here. Of course, I got my co-host alongside me, Jay Static. We got Jyoti Dillon, who finally joined back with us. He gussa ho gaya siga thoda min lala. I know he left for a little while, but
I missed some good ones, but
you did.
I'm here for the best.
Hey, man, as long as you're working, as long as you're busy, that's okay, man. We're happy to have you back at the table. And DJ M, of course, sidekick, always here, always on his ones and twos.
Reigning champ.
That's it.
Say what up, everybody.
I lost last time.
Oh,
again, again, Fateh, thanks for being here. How you feeling?
I'm good, man.
Nice.
I'm good.
Yeah, are you just coming into the city? Are you leaving the city soon? What's going on?
I'm leaving Malaysia.
Oh,
Sad.
Malaysia.
What's going on there?
Actually, that segues right to where we were getting to. So basically, on our show, I know you don't listen to it, you're too busy, but basically, we kind of like to give the listeners a feel of who you are, where you come from, kind of where you originated from. And it's interesting, contrary to popular belief, Fateh is actually not Canadian or American, even though he reps both those countries pretty hard. You're actually from Bangkok, Thailand. That's where you were born.
Yeah, I was born in Bangkok, Thailand. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Could you imagine he reps Bangkok, Thailand?
That would be pretty cool.
That'd be crazy.
I always think of The Hangover when I hear Bangkok, Thailand after that movie, but
That's the second one, no?
Third.
second or third, I think it
Second.
was.
That's
Right?
one of them.
Funny
Is it third?
movie, man.
It's a third.
Yeah, from Bangkok. Well, like I was only there till I was like 4 or 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born there.
You were born there.
Yeah, and I'm when I go to Malaysia, I'm probably gonna go to Thailand.
nice.
Ooh.
It's not too
Next
far
week,
away
yeah.
from each other, right?
Yeah, I haven't been
dope.
back since I was born.
That's
That is
crazy.
I went back once, but like it was in Bangkok though, somewhere else.
Ah.
So I want to go Bangkok.
Nice.
So do you have family out there still?
No, we have family friends though,
Okay.
so we'll go check them out. Yeah,
That's dope. Well, you know this studio is definitely not foreign to you. You're here all the time when you are in
all
town.
the time. Yeah.
All the time. Either you're on that side with Babu Harman and those guys, or you're busy over here on this side recording with JJ. So everything happens in the studio. I know we make it look like it's super high end and cool. I don't know if that
do?
applies. I don't know.
I don't think it looks too
I
high.
don't think it looks
high.
high at all.
Everybody-
No one's ever seen the studio. That's the
I
funny
gotta,
part.
I gotta
Oh, yeah.
return this
The
folding
studio's
thing back
fire.
to my mom as soon as we're done.
Okay.
So make
Well,
sure
our
we get
first few
that.
podcasts were in the actual studio.
Oh, maybe.
Oh yeah, they were. I remember
no.
the stuff in there. Yeah.
Speaking of mom and dad, your mom and dad are actually poets.
Mhm.
Your mom has 3 books that she's written and put out, right?
Yeah, 3.
That's
3.
pretty dope. So can you kind of take us back to Bangkok? I know you were young then, but I mean your parents are into the arts, I guess, in a way with their poetry. What's your memory of being out in Thailand and then being like 5 or 6 years old, and all of a sudden your parents say, you know what, we're moving to America? Like, what do you remember leaving behind? What do you remember getting to America and experiencing?
Yeah, this is therapy right here. I actually don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember. I do remember getting to Cali though. Like my memories start in Cali.
Nice.
So like I do remember some vaguely some things. That's why I'm trying to go back to when I go to Bangkok. Maybe some places might bring some jog some
bell,
memories,
yeah.
but most of it I don't remember.
You don't remember the flight jumping on and coming, nothing like that.
Like,
eh?
I remember one. Like no, I don't remember in detail. It's very very fuzzy.
When did you leave?
When I was like 4 or 5, so 90. Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere in the 90s. 99.
I got you.
So yeah. So I very very vaguely remember, but I remember Cali a lot. And then my parents were actually out there because they were teaching.
Oh.
So they had like teaching gigs out there in Thailand, and there's actually a big Sikh population in Bangkok. A lot of people don't know that.
No, I
not a
didn't know
big,
that.
but like it's a good
But they're
enough.
there,
It's
yeah.
sizable.
I feel like we're everywhere in the world. Really.
Yeah.
Like if you think
100%.
about anywhere and name a country, we have like a kind of a staple there. That
Kamal's
I mean,
DJ'd in Thailand.
Yeah,
No
Bangkok,
way,
yeah.
Bangkok.
Yeah.
He's been there.
2 years ago.
that's pretty cool, man. So your parents went out to teach. What were they teaching? English or?
Good question. I'm not exactly sure. I think it
Uh-huh.
was a good number. Like my mom was teaching high school, and dad was in like a principal for elementary school.
Oh, that's dope.
So then they were doing different things. They were out there for 10 years.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, they
wow.
were out there for a long time. It wasn't even just.
They
like,
came. They went from India straight to. Bangkok.
Yeah, yeah, they went
Okay.
there, and then I think when I happened, they were kind of like, let's go to the States,
America.
because my dad had visited and he liked it.
Yeah.
And then we went straight to Cali.
Are you
Yeah.
an only child?
I'm an only child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
That's
They're
dope.
like,
Only
again,
child.
Munda, let's get. We missed the boat on having him born in America, but we're
Yeah.
taking him there
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. So
Good.
America, I do remember, and then I think to go back to what you were kind of essentially trying to get out of me is that from that point when we moved to America till when I was old enough to stay by myself, I was every weekend going to. They have these like Punjabi poetry slams. I guess you can call them that.
Yeah.
That's
Where they
jokes.
meet together. Like my parents were in Montreal this weekend doing that.
Oh, they're still
No
having
way.
way
Oh,
to
they're
it.
still in there. Yeah, in Montreal.
awesome.
I think Montreal chalne hain. Alright, sick. What are you guys going for? They're like, oh, ek hai Montreal ch ek event fir utte baad Cornwall de vich hai, and then we're going to be coming back after. I was like, all right, wicked.
Wow.
So
That's
yeah, they used to
crazy.
always go do that with other writers in the community
Uh-huh.
from Pakistani, Urdu, Punjabi, Hindi, all that stuff. So
What do they do? Like, what do
they
they do
just
when they
get
go there?
together and they share poetry, they share ideas, stories, all that kind of stuff, and it's
cool.
like
Dead
they
Poets
clap for
Society.
each other. Yeah, it's kind of
How
like
do you
that.
feel like that influenced you?
I mean, like.
Were you surrounded by it, or were you like, I want to stay away from this?
No,
Like,
of course I was, because I had to go there. I was the
Yeah.
only child,
Yeah.
and my parents didn't want to get a babysitter. So my weekends are spent watching adults talk about boring ass shit while I was sitting there like, damn, I wish we had phones then. Yeah, no, I was always around it.
You're already telling what year you are, by the way.
We did have phones then. I just didn't have a phone.
Well, it makes total sense. I mean, we had Humble the Poet on last episode, and he was talking about how he was into poetry, and it didn't really apply to him until what was the type of poetry that he said he listened to? Was it
Spoken
slam?
word. Spoken word.
Spoken word
Slam,
poetry.
okay, yeah.
Okay, so then when he picked that up, that's what he really connected to. So I mean, the fact that you became a lyricist and a rapper, it's not too far fetched from
Yeah,
poetry.
I'm
right?
sure subconsciously it had some kind of effect to always be around it. To my parents having a likingness for it, for music as well. So I'm sure subconsciously it was always there.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
the culture. Like a lot of people don't like pursue things because it's not accepted. But
Absolutely.
if your parents
Yeah,
are in it made it
being
easier.
exposed to that at an early age.
You got
yeah.
lucky. I always wanted
But
to be
how
a
did?
rapper, but I
But
didn't have
not
the boat. No, I'm
really,
kidding.
because like being a poet and then being a rapper, I would still feel like parents would be against that. I don't know if they were, but like, what were your parents' first
My
thoughts?
dad. My dad was just never. He never said no to me to anything.
That's awesome.
So when I wanted to be a basketball player, he was like, "You do it. You only 5 foot tall, but you do it." Man. So
That's awesome.
yeah. No, my dad was cool. He bought me my first mic and stuff like that when I was in high school.
Oh,
And
dope.
computer, like for my birthday, I asked him to get like a souped up computer so I could record.
Yeah.
I was like 14. So like, yeah, I've been trying to do this from time. But my mom was always like, nah. Like this hot, like she's like, ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਵੀ hobby ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਤੇ hobby ਰੱਖੀ ਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਪਰ job ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ important ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ.
That sounds exactly
like my
what
mom.
I'm
Everybody, right? So like hobby ਨੂੰ hobby ਰੱਖਿਆ ਕਰੋ ਨਾ। ਤੂੰ weekend ਤੇ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਕਰ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਨੇ ਤੂੰ weekend 'ਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਬਾਹਰ rap ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਕਰ।
driveway ਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਕਰ ਲਾ ਕੋਈ
ਕਰ
ਨਹੀਂ
ਲਾ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਤੂੰ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਸੜਨਾ ਹੈ। Nah, they're always like that, but like yeah, it was always like, yeah, just keep it as a hobby. I guess because like maybe they never saw it as something they could make money off of. I think that maybe 10 years ago we never saw it as something we can make money off of either.
Yeah,
Like the internet's
absolutely.
really changed everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you don't have to be a super celebrity now.
But you didn't do it to make money at the beginning. No one ever did it to make money at the beginning. Everyone did it because, oh man, I want to do this because
But still,
well,
you
there's
take it
multiple
serious.
reasons.
Yeah.
You
first
take it
reasons.
seriously, so
You just
so
want
you
your
can make it
sound
into
to
a
be
career
heard.
too. Right?
I think no.
Most likely you want girls and
And-
you want your sound to be heard. That's two mains.
I think what he's talking about is just like being parents being supportive, right? And they're supportive. Their supportiveness. The line is drawn at the financial thing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, now when is it hindering
Yeah.
your success to grow as an individual. as an
That's a
adult or
parent's
whatever.
job at the end of the day too,
Yeah.
right? To make sure that they kind of guide you in a way that, like, if you keep going for basketball and they know you're 5 feet, after a certain point, they gotta be like, okay, you gotta cut it out. You're not gonna be, you're not gonna
Yeah.
make it in this, you know, like.
Which you can't blame them.
Hobby duck, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, because they're looking the best in your best interest,
Absolutely.
right? They want you to do better.
It's funny,
than
actually.
them.
I'm just thinking about like my situation. And this is purely personal, but like my dad asked when he was trying to figure out what I was doing, was it right? Like when I went to New York,
Yeah.
he asked my brother, and he's like, I don't know what he's doing, but if he's doing what he's doing, can he make money off of
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly.
And my brother's like, listen,
Yeah.
if he goes and gets a day job,
Yeah.
he's gonna hate his life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let him do what he's gonna do,
Yeah,
and we can figure out something along the way.
yeah.
And
So
I think
crazy.
that's a trend that kind of works. When people will stay consistent with it, it works, man. All you guys have been at it. Like, everybody may just see you guys on TV and think that, oh, these guys just made it now. You guys have been putting in work.
Overnight
a
success
decade,
is
you
10
know?
years.
Absolutely.
That's what they call it.
Question. So like
Yeah.
I sang in Punjabi growing up. So I always had the oh Jyoti ure ai gana suna de sarean nu. Did you ever have a time where your parents were like, oh, sarean nu rap suna de apne?
Yeah, yeah. yo.
Why is that so funny? I don't
Because
know.
I'm
awesome.
so curious. Like
I just picture like a bunch of uncles and aunties
And you
sitting
already
at a birthday party,
I
and
want to
it's
see the. I
like
wanna hear
mad
this.
serious mood, and he's like,
You're like playing video games with your cousins and you hear
Ah, shit.
Fateh,
Here we
Fateh,
go.
Jesus. Wow. No, it
Jesus.
wasn't even Urei rap kari. It was more so like my studio's at the house, or it was at the house, and my dad would just barge in, and it'd be like 5 random uncles with him. I just better, and I'm like on the studio. I'm like, all right, sick. Let me close like MSN or AOL. Let me close this. All right, what's up? Gana sunai na ba? I'm like, what? This is before Zeus. This is before Punjabi music. This is when I was like cursing off the radar on,
Yeah.
on these
Oh.
hip hop like Lil Wayne beats. Like, Gana sunai apna uncle nu sunai. Order kita si last week. And I'm like, okay. And I'm playing, and they're like, our uncles are confused. This is like before Honey Sing, before like Bohemia was big. Like, think about that. Like,
Yeah. They don't
like
even
rap.
give us a
understand
year.
what's
Like,
going
what year
on.
was this?
He doesn't want to give.
No, I can give you a year. Like
This is
2000,
back-
2008, 2008, 2009.
This is back in Cali, or
No,
this is-
here, 2008, 2009. 2008, 2009. And it was just awkward.
Sorry, go ahead.
That was it. 2008, 2009, they would come in, and then like, random uncles would be like, I would have to show them music, and they would be so confused, and they're just
They,
like,
they
"All
just don't understand it, right?
They're just-
Even still, I mean, now they see it, so they kind of are forced to understand it, but they still probably don't really get it or what
Yeah.
it's about, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, with time, we'll get it.
Yeah.
What I got to talk about is something that I just noticed now, and I was thinking about earlier. Your Punjabi is really, really good, but it didn't start off like that. You actually only spoke Hindi and Thai and English, right?
How'd you know that?
I just, I don't
Yo.
know. Creeper. They call me Creeper.
No,
Terry.
because no.
Creepy Terry.
It depends on what you say, what you consider start off, right?
Mhm.
Because in Thailand, I actually spoke fluent Thai.
Crazy. And you don't even remember Thailand.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
Do you remember Thai?
No, hell
Oh.
no, bro. Like my parents said, they said Thai, English, and Hindi because because we had like people like maids. I don't know
Yeah,
what to
it's
say.
okay to
That's
say.
weird.
Everybody
it's weird to
has
say,
them in
right? But
Indian
yeah,
Noka or whatever.
they were helpers or whatever. They spoke Hindi, and then I guess I picked it up off them. And I learned Punjabi when I moved to Cali,
Okay.
like properly. And then I think my Punjabi got 10 times better out here because you can go to Starbucks and order in Punjabi.
yeah.
So like, yeah, it's
Seriously.
crazy, man.
Punjabi
I had-
school?
Huh?
Do you go to Punjabi
No,
school?
no. Oh, I did, but I never learned anything. Like, you don't learn Punjabi at
Never.
Punjabi
Never.
school.
Never.
You learn Punjabi amongst your friends and your peers. But my parents, I only speak to my parents in Punjabi.
hmm
I can't speak to them in
Always?
English. Oh, I can't. It's weird.
No, like growing, like
Always.
Really?
Always. Yeah.
That's me. I've
so-
never spoken
yeah.
to my parents in Punjabi.
I can't-
Ever,
I
not
can't-
once.
Like my dad,
Always.
I can't even speak to my dad parents in English. It's
Really?
weird, bro.
Yeah,
It's
Really?
so weird. Yeah, I can't.
wow.
I can't speak to parents. Period in English.
I
It's
only
weird to me.
speak English with my parents.
Like I can't.
You come
I
to my
talk
house.
your
Did you
parents
ever have
in
a
Punjabi.
parent-teacher interview where you like have to like kind of break something down to your parents in
No,
English?
my parents speak proper English.
Oh, so you're
yeah,
good to
no,
go,
no,
yeah.
they speak proper.
I had to like
English.
when my parents
Yeah.
were at the interviews, I'd be like, "Dude, bol these hari pata nahi
मेरे को A, mom asked me A. That's hilarious. That's such a good story.
All right, so since we're on the fact that I'm a creeper, I also creeped into a fun fact that you're a big fan of cricket.
No.
No?
No.
Because I heard that one of your first raps
shit.
was about cricket. No?
All right, well, I gotta go. No. Yo, what is this, Nardwar?
Hell
How
yeah,
does he know
buddy.
that shit? What?
I know you got a bad memory, but do you remember the rhyme? What was it like?
Cricket.
Sachin Tendulkar.
Can I
hits-
explain what it is?
Yeah.
Can I explain it?
You can.
So that was the first song I ever recorded, ever.
Mhm.
Ever. It was on the 50 Cent beat in the club. Don't play it.
Yeah.
Please don't play it. Please don't play it.
I think
Yeah,
you're gonna play
I don't
that.
think you can find the
You're
track.
just gonna play the
It'll be
beat.
hard to find, yeah.
Yeah. I could redo it if you want.
There it is.
Yeah, it was a cricket is my so. It was so bad. I was like 12 years old.
Yeah,
right? So I did that, but it was crazy that you know that because like no one knows that.
Holy.
now everybody-
And the reason why I did that was, remember Welcome to Atlanta?
Yeah.
Welcome to Atlanta where the cows eat
Oh, the
hay.
Indian version.
The
Yeah,
Indian
yeah.
version. And I was like, yo, that's so jokes, right? And I took that and I was inspired by that and I tried to do my own stupid version of an Indian song.
So that was the beginning of
That
that
was
was young Fateh back then, right?
That was just a kid trying to like be funny.
So,
Like,
literally young
honestly.
Fateh.
That wasn't like
Experimenting.
I wasn't like, yo, I'm gonna start rapping. It was just like, let me try. Cause like my friend had a computer and he's like Acid Pro. Remember Acid Pro?
Yeah.
He's like, yo, you can record your voice on this.
That was a foreign thing back then, eh?
He's like, say swear to God. So I
Yeah.
went to his house. I wrote this rap. He's pulling up instrumentals. I wrote this rap and I did that, recorded that. And then like, dude, like he burnt it on a CD. He was a lot older than me. He burnt
Yeah.
it on a CD and just like went home and played it. And I'm like, yo, my voice is coming out of speakers.
Wow.
And that to me just blew my mind. And then within a year, I bought a mic, bought the same software and all that.
And did you like your voice? A lot of people when they hear it right away don't like it.
Yo,
like,
I was just like, I've always loved music.
Uh-huh.
And I've always loved just like being on the computer working on stuff. Or like I used to try to DJ before. I had turntables. I was all the whole 9 yards. I was doing it.
Yeah.
And then once I could actually record myself and hear it back, yo, the game changed.
That was
That's
it, eh?
And
So,
I
like-
just did that 24/7 after that.
That's
dope.
crazy.
So
So a
you-
lot of people do not like. I haven't listened to a single podcast
Hmm.
because that's probably the wrong thing to say, but like I can't stand hearing my voice.
That's weird.
That's crazy.
I don't
it weirded me out at the beginning. Too. It still does.
As a 12, 13-year-old kid, I don't think my voice bothered me. I was just like, wow, this is
Wow, it's
great
I can't believe I can
technology.
do
What
that.
about right
I
now?
can rap on a I love my voice. I can rap on a beat and I can play it back and I
Yeah.
can I can make an actual song sitting in my
Yeah.
room, which was like crazy.
That's dope.
I mean, now we could do this on GarageBand, but like
Mhm.
this is early, right? Windows 98.
That's
fam.
crazy.
Yeah.
So it went from cricket to all the way to.
So
now,
no, you gotta
basically.
tell me how you know about cricket, man.
I'm gonna have to
no
shout
one
him
knows
out.
about that.
It's a good friend of yours. Actually, I want to get into that. Your boy Raginder from
Oh,
California.
okay,
Yeah, he hooked me
okay.
up with that
Raginder.
little snippet
Good
there.
luck,
So yeah. So actually, it's a funny story. He actually well, it's not funny. It's actually kind of a cool story. But you guys have known each other since you were kids, literally. And
No, our parents knew each other before all of us were born
Yeah.
in Thailand.
like
Oh,
you
wow.
guys, yeah, exactly. Thailand.
Mhm.
That's what he was saying. That's
Yeah.
really cool because he's a big part of your last two albums that
Yeah.
you just did as well.
Yeah.
So to transcend both into music and
Mm-hmm.
to be friends that long, super cool. And he's like insanely talented.
So
when
talented.
JJ put me in contact with him, I was a fan first. So I'm like, dude, you're awesome, man. Your music
Yeah,
is
as soon as he
amazing.
messaged, he's like,
Is that
Is this-
B-Rock in there?
and I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna fangirl for a minute. Just wait.
No, I'm a fan of the music. I'm a fan
Yeah.
of you, man, and that's just what it's about. That's why we
Yeah.
do this, man. We do it because we're fans of the industry and the music, and we finally have our own that are putting on. So it's kind of cool to see. And like him, I know he's going places. I know that he's building. So that's super dope to see that. But he said that you guys actually, when you moved to California, they lived with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those were like 6
and
months,
you
yeah.
actually learned kirtan from his parents.
His parents, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
tabla, vaja, even the sitar for like a second.
You can play the stars.
No, I
still?
can't.
Oh,
No,
not
but
anymore.
like I
But you
learned,
learned it.
Yo, I learned the trombone in 6th grade. Tabla, vaja, tol. I
Uh-huh.
played tol. I played with
Yeah.
this guy. He just reminded me. I met him when I learned from Latsing Patti, the person.
You
who-
guys played dole
Dole
together?
together,
yeah.
How many
Back-
people have you played dole with, bro?
A lot of people, man.
Holy
I used to be a sick dole player back in
Lal
the day.
Singh, but had you seen Sikshinder Shinda with him?
Yeah, that's his ustad. So I
Oh.
learned from him in Cali.
Wow.
Mhm, yeah.
He's from California.
Latsing Patti, yeah, lives in Cali.
He's now in
That's
Cali. He was
dope.
in
Yeah,
I seen him doing a crazy thing on the like
That
a
guy's-
drum or a double
That guy's
yesterday.
crazy.
Unreal,
He's
eh?
sick. Yeah, so I learned from him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I've learned music.
Is he mean?
No, he's very nice.
I don't know why I swear I've heard this story about this
Shitty
guy being
students,
like,
probably.
No.
put a
He's also
meme.
taught Amin here.
oh really?
Yeah. And,
That's crazy. That's awesome.
You guys know Nana from DC?
Yeah.
Nana's learned from him as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the god.
That's
when it comes
crazy.
to it. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but yeah, he's the god.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So California, you're out there, you're doing your thing. You're introduced to rap, hip hop, I guess, for the first time as well while you're out there. And then what happens around 2008, 2009? You guys pick up and say, "Hun Canada dekhiye?"
Yeah.
Basically,
Essentially,
yeah.
yeah.
Your
Kinda.
parents are free
Well,
spirits. Like
Do
I
you
mean,
remember
to be-
2007 hit this huge depression in the States?
Yes.
You guys remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
Even our dollar was a lot higher.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a good
The
time
big
to
crash,
get out of there.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a
Mhm.
good time to get out of there. And then we
Mhm.
moved out here. There's some opportunities out here.
And you guys just thought Toronto first, or did you think BC or anything?
We actually, we drove up to BC.
Mhm.
I don't know
Wow,
if
could
you
you
knew this, JJ.
imagine you in BC?
Bro,
That's crazy.
Oh
that
my
shit was-
God.
I mean, I love BC. but
Fateh the
like,
Surrey Jack.
I'm not gonna lie. That's what
Yo,
it was,
my
yeah.
buddies. They love saying buddies out there. Eh?
Yo, it was a different world, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like coming from like Hayward, California, where like we only saw Punjabi people at the Gurdwara, to going to BC, the heart of Delta, Surrey, bro. It was so weird. All three of us were in culture shock. Me, my mom, and dad.
Really?
We're just like, what? Yo, there was like a sense of anxiety of like, why
It's
is there
too
so
much.
many Punjabs here, right?
Punjab.
it was not in a negative way, but it was just like it was crazy seeing that many. But yeah, like we didn't really like it there. I started meeting some really effed up people.
Oh yeah. Oh, so you
Yeah.
actually lived there for a
Yeah, I
bit.
lived there for like 2-3 months in
Okay.
Delta,
Uh-huh.
and then within the 2-3 months, I met some dudes. I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So it was
That's crazy.
crazy, and like I was young, impressionable.
Yeah.
So I was
They're
like,
let's get him
yeah.
out of here.
you know, my parents didn't say let's get him out of here. So Big Bird,
Yeah.
was the only person that I knew in Toronto that existed,
Uh-huh.
and I had no idea where Toronto was on a map. Thank you for
You're serious? How'd you guys get in touch?
MySpace. He had
Okay.
hit me up on MySpace.
Really?
2005.
We're
Wow,
talking.
I didn't know that.
this
That's
is
years ago.
crazy.
He hit me up on
13 years
MySpace.
ago. Wow.
He hit me on MySpace, and we used to talk. And he said he was from Toronto. I equated Toronto to England. I thought it was over there.
Yeah.
Like I never thought.
Wow.
Like I didn't know. I never
Like
looked
most
at a map.
Americans, they don't even.
Yeah,
know this.
man, I was super American. And Burhat hit me up, and I remember he's like, yo, I'm brown. Yo, we killing it out
Brown.
here.
First of all, I'm brown.
Yeah. Like, well, you know, Big Bird. I didn't think he was gonna be Punjabi, right? So I was like, and at that time there wasn't any Punjabi rap producers that I knew of. So he hit me up, and then he was like, yo, I got these beats. I think he was trying to do something with Dipset at that time or whatever.
Yeah.
He sent me some stuff. We made some songs. We kept in touch. He's the only guy from here that I knew that had AOL Messenger. So he hit me up on that, I think. And we kept in touch periodically. And then when I got to Surrey, I was like, yo, I'm in Canada. Come through. This is a typical Canadian thing. I mean,
Wow.
American thing to say. Because my friends say that to me. Like, yo, bro, I'm in Canada. Come through. I'm like, where are you at? Vancouver. Oh yeah, I'll be right there. Yeah, I'll be right there, bro. So I said the same thing to him. I was like, he's like, where are you at? I was like, in Vancouver. Come through. He's like, yeah, I'm a 6-hour flight away. I'm in Toronto.
Oh,
I'm like,
shit.
oh shit, okay. So then 2 months, 3 months go by, and I'm like, yo, I'm not really like I like Surrey. Like I already had like filed for schooling and everything like that. I had registered for classes, all that. And then I was like, and I was talking to Bird, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not really feeling the vibe here though. And he's like, yo, come to Toronto. I think you'll like it more.
And you're what, like 15, 16?
No, I was 18.
Oh, you're 18.
I
Oh,
mean,
you're registering for
18.
university?
Yeah, university.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I
Do
was
the math,
18.
people.
Yeah,
Do the math.
Stop, man.
You
And
guys
then-
are making like grown man decisions.
Jeez.
Like, just come over here. I was like, man, I love
No, that's not a grown man. That's not a grown man decision. I think Bird just said it.
Oh, just like,
"Ali,
just
Dana,
come. Yeah,
yo,
yeah,
come
yeah.
here. You'll like it more.
Uh-huh.
And then a week later, I showed up.
Yo, I'm a Brad to come through.
Yeah. No, because my mom was like, yo, we have cousins there. The housing market was cheaper here at that time. A
Okay.
lot cheaper than like Vancouver was really expensive.
Uh-huh.
Vancouver's still expensive.
Yeah, it's still expensive, but a lot like 2008 was very relatively very cheap.
Mhm.
So it just worked out better. Me and my mom came here on a one-way ticket just to see if we liked it. And the day we landed, we're like, yo, we're staying. It was just something about
You
it.
landed in Malton, though. Wasn't it like, this is worse than
Yo, bro,
BC?
it was snowing. It was disgusting. It was the first day of snow. It was bad. It was like November, I think, or no, yeah, November. We came, and first day of snow was disgusting. But we're like, the minute we landed, there was something about it. we're staying. I hadn't met Bird yet, nothing. I was like, we're gonna
Airport
stay
Road.
there.
He probably saw the Golgappa.
It wasn't anything we saw. It was just kind of
Just
one
the
of those
vibe,
gut
the
feel,
intuitions.
yeah.
The
Just felt like
intuition.
home kind of thing.
It just felt like, all right, this is the right move.
I have that feeling every time I land from anywhere and I land in Toronto, Pearson.
feel like
the
anytime
best
It's just
feeling
like-
I know what you mean. It'll make some noise.
Nothing's
for everybody,
gonna
man.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toronto
I'm
is.
happy.
I feel like
man.
anytime you just get back into like Canadian airspace, you're
Yeah.
like,
Thank the Lord.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah. You know what's funny? E40's son was saying that to me, Droopy. Shout out to Droopy. He was saying that. He's like, yo, there's something different in the air.
Hold on, you talking about
Canada.
E40, like the E40?
Yeah, yeah. the
Really?
E40.
Look how he just drops that casually.
Drops
right?
the name like it's nothing.
Yeah, I was just talking to his son. I was at his crib, riding around his Rolex. I mean,
in his Rolex.
I'm speaking of Rolex, but Fateh's got a Rolex on. I noticed that earlier. Times are good right now. Big up. Oh, shout by Dolo. Did we shout you out too?
Shout out
Behind the
Dolo.
cameras, he's got
Shout
dual
out
setup
Dolo,
today.
looking
we got
great.
that in as well. We got that
That
in as
in,
well.
yeah, on the
T-bone.
photography.
Yeah.
Is that's the Taran that's always in your Insta videos
Yeah,
that you're
yeah.
always bugging, right?
Punjabi nahi aunਦੀ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ।
Yeah.
Sekla.
So you guys land in Toronto. Where do you guys live? Do you guys come to
We
Brampton?
just stay from we stayed with some family in Brampton. Then we got a house a couple months later.
In Brampton.
Yep.
Okay, so
I
you're
met
Brampton
I
native.
met I met Bird, Sonny Malton,
Uh-huh.
and another guy, and Gerv. Shout out to my boy
Wow.
Gerv. Literally the day I landed here.
You still know?
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Gerv's always with me. Yeah,
The
yeah.
day you landed.
Yeah, like I landed at 6 a.m., took a nap. They hit my phone, or I called them. Bird's number was something 647 something bird. So the easiest thing to remember. I called him. I'm like, yo, I'm here. He's like, all right, yo, I seen. I'm gonna come scoop you. And I was like, what the hell is he saying, bro? I'm gonna come scoop you still. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why is he talking like that?
Shit.
And they came through, and it was cool. Yeah, and the rest is history. And we talked about the craziest thing is I don't know if Bird remembers. We sat on Kaiser in Mississauga talking about how one day we're gonna do Punjabi music, and I'm a rap, and he's gonna
Sick.
produce some Punjabi music.
Are you
I remember
serious?
that conversation
Wow.
distinctly.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I remember you
Telling
guys
you,
for
man.
doing what you said,
That's
man.
crazy.
Big up
I
to
was-
Bird too.
I was
doing
like, watch,
huge
one day we're
things.
gonna do it. We're gonna kill it, man. He's like, yeah, man. Yeah. It took 10 years, but we here.
Absolutely, man. I actually remember my first encounter with young Fateh at that time was the Vulture track that you did. Show him how to move in a room full of vultures. I thought that song was super dope. You shot that, like, I think it was in, like, Malton or something like that, behind, like, an old house. Did you have Big Sean in the video?
Yeah.
Shout out to Hobie,
Big
yeah.
Sean, man. Shout out for him.
I couldn't find it on
supporting.
YouTube. Did you take it off?
Yeah, everything's off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're moving different now.
Yeah.
That's
But-
not the official video.
That was my first introduction
man.
to you, and I kind of want to talk to you about that time. So like we're moving to like 2011, 2012 at this time, and things are not as good as they are now. You didn't have the Rolex, obviously. You know, things were not, Fateh's name was not out there like it was. It was actually a lot of hate. It was a lot of, like, I think people realized that the internet's here and you can type something and you can basically say something to someone without ever having to meet them, ever hearing maybe another song of theirs.
Yeah.
And so, you know, hence cyberbullying was created. So you faced this head on and you dealt with that a lot. You want to take us back to that time and kind of tell us about what you did to get through that time and who you surrounded yourself with to kind of grow out of that period.
I think, like, for people who don't know, let's just dwell on for a second what that time was, right? So that time looked like a time where there wasn't brown
Anything.
influencers or
Yeah, influencers.
on the internet,
Yeah.
brown people, right?
Mhm.
There wasn't
Entertainers, influencers.
entertainers. There wasn't like anything, and then there came these three guys, me, Malton, and Bird. And then I think Harmon the Hater was doing his podcast. I don't know if he was doing it as early as 2008.
He was
though.
doing it before you guys.
Was
it was
he?
him and Gunwar were doing it before
Okay,
you guys.
that's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So like, but we were rapping and doing something Punjabi people call "Kaaliyan de gaane."
Yeah.
Kaali samjhde hain apne aap ko. I swear to God, that's what people say.
Yeah.
And then we just like we had this passion that we like just really enjoyed it as hip hop heads, and I'm sure you guys can attest to that.
Absolutely.
And then we just were recording, and we had this dream, and we did it, and then we did it. There was no guidance, right? Like today, you could look as a young guy, 12, 13, whatever, and you could look at, all right, I need to do something like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I can want to do if I want to make rap music, I could do something like Nav or Fateh or Zoo Babies or anything like that. There's templates
Yeah.
or something or examples. We had nothing.
Mhm.
We followed what Lil Wayne and like these guys were doing, and
Apache
obviously
Indian was
uh,
the most that you had, if that, you know.
The only
that
influence
wasn't
then
there.
was Bohemia.
You had
If
that,
that,
and then you
if
had
that.
like
But we
Sikh
weren't
Nation
rapping
Dash.
in Punjabi.
Yeah. What you guys did was totally different.
We
and
were hip hop.
you guys basically, it's like you're the baseball and you're throwing it at the bat and everybody's just swinging.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's what it was. Like, it was a free for all. If you go back and read those comments, people were mean.
Yeah,
like,
they're
you know
brutal.
what I mean?
They're
Yeah.
brutal. They're very brutal.
I
but the
brought,
thing
I
is,
brought my Gatorade haterade towel for you today, so you know, for all the haters out there, this was
they're brutal. No, but it's like I think what it is when you're the first to do something, people are always gonna push back, right? And I'm not saying we did it good. I look back at it, it makes me cringe. I'm not saying I look at it, I'm like, oh, this is horrible. I know why they were hating. I know. But yo, like the thing is though, it takes courage to even just try it.
Absolutely.
And it took faith to just keep going.
Yo, the fact that you kept going after that, like,
yeah.
like I'll be honest, when I first heard like that Kali Back song, I was like, what is this?
Yeah, 100%.
But over time, like you kept going at it, even people hating or
Yeah.
like, whatever
Everyone
they
gets
were
better,
saying.
man. You
And
can't. No one's like
and like
blessed
now,
right off
dude,
the bat.
No, it
killing
was.
it.
I mean, if you go back and listen to like some of B21's earlier stuff, it's so garbage. As they got better, the second, third album, and like,
Yeah.
holy shit, you're in
Yeah.
love with these kind of singers.
Are you getting at the fact that Fateh did the B21 album and he made their album great? Is
I
that
wasn't
what
even
we're
getting to
saying?
that, but yo, that was, he did do the track with them. That was pretty big.
And we like that.
They
Chaya.
didn't even acknowledge me on that song.
Oh, what?
Really?
Yeah.
No
they
way.
didn't. We'll get to that in
Yeah,
a
yeah,
second.
yeah.
That's actually a very interesting
Uh-huh.
story. What was I gonna say? Yeah. So yeah. Back to
Yeah. You guys are basically kind of building the mold for what an Indian rapper is.
Well, the only thing before them was
Bohemia.
Blitz from Toronto.
Oh yeah, and Roach
Blitz and
Killer.
those guys. They were
Yeah,
doing
that's true.
something.
Yeah, that's
they were the
true.
only guys that were doing some other
22K
time.
and all those
Yeah.
guys? Yeah.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
But weren't they more UK based?
Nope.
No.
From here.
No, but like, was there? More, okay, so I
They were here. Maybe when you started,
No,
they
are
were.
you saying
because I
their
remember
vibe?
they were doing Gorda Bole and that
so
kind of
that
stuff.
was post
Yeah.
what they were doing here.
Oh, okay.
When they were building a thing here,
Yeah.
there was no internet, no YouTube.
Oh,
it was
okay.
CD.
Yeah.
So they were
yeah,
building
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Then they got some clout.
Yeah.
Then they moved over to England. 'cause
Part of
that's
my
the spot.
ignorance, yeah, because
Yeah.
that's probably right around the time I had moved here, so I was
Yeah.
still learning the culture.
Mhm.
But for us, I guess as internet guys, maybe then,
Yeah.
right? Like it was just like something we were doing. It was different, and the backlash was crazy. I don't want to dwell on it too much, but it was
No.
crazy. It was
Yeah.
for like 5 years that I got it.
5 years? I thought it was like a
Hold
year.
on, nah, bro. Hold on, let's go. 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12. Around 12-ish when things started changing.
Wow.
When Zoo
Really?
Babies happened, which was 12.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
even when I was in Zoo Babies, if you go back to the comments, they'd be like, everybody's sick, Fateh sucks. Why is he in
Oh,
this
man.
group?
No way.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Dude, has
100.
nobody
Yo,
heard
that's
the
brutal.
song Renaissance with
But
this
no,
guy's verse?
yeah,
that,
yeah,
that
but-
40-second verse you did at the beginning is fire, man. Are
But
you
that's
crazy?
that became the brand though, right?
Mhm.
It became okay to hate on Fateh. Like
Okay,
he's
okay,
bad. You get branded as that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
but at one point, like when Zoo Baby started happening, I was like, I realized there's a rebranding process that needs to take place. That's why it was just Fateh.
Mhm.
And I realized that it's gonna take some time for it to change.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But that's also the point where, like, I think it was during that time where me and you had that conversation about Zeus.
Like,
Wasn't it around that time when Zeus was hitting you up?
Yeah, it was around
Yeah.
that. Yeah, so like,
So
yeah,
like there
Well-
was this maybe negative backlash, but then you had like the top tier producer in England
yeah,
hitting you up to do music,
yeah.
and then your decision is, do I stick to doing what I'm doing right now,
Mhm.
or do I also jump in this lane
Yeah,
and try to kill it?
yeah.
Well, I heard you gave Zeus a mixtape. Was that before he hit you up, or is this like around that same time?
No, so he came to Cali when I was like 14,
Okay.
13,
shit.
like when I was young, and he did like and I was playing Dole. Shout out to my boy
That's
right
crazy.
here. So this one loser, I hate that guy. He was my age. He played Dole with me.
Who is he?
He's irrelevant now. No, he is. He's just like a guy.
down.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't ever see him anymore. But what happened was he had the opportunity to play Dole for Zeus that night as a 15-year-old, whatever. And me and him played Dole just as good, whatever. I was like, yo, bro, let me know. I want to come. I'll play Dole. I'm not trying to get no money. I just want to give my CD to Zeus.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, cool. He didn't hit me up. He did his own thing.
Oh,
Then I was like, shit. Like, what the hell? And then I think I gave it to another guy who knew Zeus. I don't think it ever got to Zeus, though.
Mhm.
I did give my dole to Tiger Style because I played dole for them once.
Oh, no way.
Get
Yeah,
your
yeah,
CD,
That's
not
a
your
cool
dole.
My
ass.
CD,
Yeah.
yeah. I gave him I made a 6-track CD. I was like, yo, I'm gonna sing. You guys are sings. I rap. I,
Awesome.
I rap in English. Like, we should do something. Here it is. I remember I wrote my email down and my number down on the thing, but yeah, I didn't hear back from him. But no, it's cool. It's cool. It's yeah. But no,
I love it.
no. It's cool. But anyways,
But
back-
how did you get it to Zeus eventually?
I didn't.
Oh,
So so hate going on. Our friend released a video, punked me hard. Everybody knew who I was, but no one liked me.
Mm-hmm.
So then I had this really weird stigma and this fear when I was in university. Like, if you came up to me, every conversation that was new was, "Yo, what's up? Are you Fateh? Yeah. Yo, that video about you where that guy's punking you and talking shit about you.
talking about
Yo,
it.
that's pretty jokes."
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, how am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say to that?
Yeah.
So everybody knows you, and I'm still 3 years into Toronto,
fucked.
4 years into Toronto. I don't know anybody. I only know like 5 to 10 people. Not even those are my closest guys.
Yeah.
And now everybody knows you, but everybody's like literally talking shit about
Yo,
you.
that sucks because like
Reposting the video about you. Your own friends on your Facebook is reposting that video talking shit about
Oh,
you.
wow.
So yeah, sorry, go on.
like I've read negative comments on like anything we've done too, and out of like 100 good comments, that one negative comment
Sticks
just
out.
sticks out.
We
and it
like
just-
who?
His is
I
the complete
never read no
opposite, though.
negative
He's saying he's not even
He's
the
having-
one comment.
yeah.
His is like the.
So that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I can't imagine, and people don't realize that because there's so many people out there that all they do is just hate on stuff,
Yeah.
but like they don't realize that
Yeah.
you're still putting in hard work.
Yeah,
But,
no, it was
pays
it's
off.
fine. Honestly, I take all that as a blessing.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I take all that as a blessing.
Awesome.
Dude, it builds
wouldn't
it
have
builds
it any other
character, it builds courage, like you said. I mean, there's somebody who hit me up today on Instagram and was like, "Hey, I'm putting out my first track that I produced and this and that," and like his name's Colstar, coincidentally. But basically, he was like, "I'm super nervous about it," and I was like, "Dude, what's there to be nervous about? Like, people put tracks out every single day, and now we're in that age where you can put things out, either it gets picked up or it doesn't. But when you're putting something out as an Indian artist doing rap and you're the only one doing it, the attention is like solely focused on you, and for you to get bashed on and then continue to keep putting music out, that speaks volumes about character for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't easy. I'm not saying it was a walk in the park. There were so many times where I was like, "F it," like I don't want to do this.
Did you almost give up and say
Yeah,
fuck
100%.
rap? Yeah?
Like literally, like if I get my timeline right, I think Zeus had hit me up. Man, like if he hadn't hit me up, I probably wouldn't have been doing it right now.
Yeah?
Yeah, it
Like
was
you were
like
on the way out.
it
Like,
was-
fuck
I was on
this
the way
shit,
out.
I'm not dealing with
I
this
was-
no more.
I think Zoo Babies and Zeus happened at the exact time where I was trying to dip.
The letter Z, your
'Cause
kids
I-
getting the letter Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, man, because I remember like I wasn't really recording anymore, and I was like kind of off of it.
Mhm.
I had done 2 or 3 mixtapes by then. 3 mixtapes, about 20 songs each.
Yeah.
They weren't good. I mean, they're all right. They're cool. But like we've been putting in work. But like I was like, man, nothing's changing. Getting older now. University's almost done. Like what's really going on now, right? Yeah, and they kind of like I definitely put it down.
So,
in my-
so
the
take me
music.
to that day. So actually take me back to the exact day. Do you remember the call from Zeus?
Do I remember the call from Zeus? Hold on. Hold on. I remember who. Yeah, I do. So Harry B from Cali. Do you guys know Harry B?
Yeah.
Harry B. Never met the guy before this. He knew about me. He hit me up. He's like, "Yo, bro, like, yo, bro, hey, how you fucking man? What's up?"
This, by the way, this is his voice for everybody. If he was talking about meat, that would be his voice.
Yo, bro, remember when we played this? Okay, no, so he was like, he hit me up and he was like, I didn't know who he was. I think he was on Facebook. He's like, yo, bro, Zeus wants, is looking for a rapper. Cause he said it so nonchalantly. Like when most people, I don't know, you guys are in the industry, when people are trying to sell you on something, they're all like, yo,
Yo.
bro,
Yeah.
like Jay Static, you know, Jay Static, you know, like they'll sell you on this big dream, right?
Yeah.
And I think B21 did that as
Yeah.
well. So I had already gone through the B21 phase. So I was, and I think another couple producers in UK. So I was super jaded from like anything because I'm like, yo, all these promises, all these songs, all these mixtapes, nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And now I'm still getting bashed on, still get hating on, right? So I was like, wow, like now, basket. yeah, right. So he was like, "Yo, Zeus is looking for a rapper. Is it cool if I put him in touch with you?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." Right. I was like, "Here's my number." I didn't think anything of it. I'm gonna be real with you. I think 2 days or 3 days later, Zeus called me. He's like, "Yo, bro, yeah, I heard your stuff. I saw your videos and stuff." I was like, "Okay, cool."
Oh, you got to do it with the English accent.
Bruv, no, I don't remember. He talks a different. I have to talk to him and I can get it back. And then, but I was super excited because I was like, "Yo, like the kid in me came." I was like, "I just talked to Zeus," but I still had like, I took it with a grain of salt. I was like, "Yo, I've done this before. I've gone down this path. B21. That song was sitting for 4 years."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yo, like I'm not gonna get excited about this, right?" He's like, "Yo, I have a song for you," and he's like, "Would you be down to do it?" He's like, "I can't pay you, but would you be down?" I was like, "Pay? What the hell are you talking about? Well, there's no such thing as pay, right?" Right? Like, I was like, "Yeah, man, let's do it." And he was like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna send it to you. Don't send it to no one." I was like, "Cool." And then he's like, "All right, wicked." So he sent it to me that day, and then I gave it back to him in 3 hours.
Which track was this?
Madan Mardi.
Oh, that was the first one?
Oh, that's
That
a
was the
sick
first
Oh,
one.
that's a
track.
banger.
Okay, tell the story. Then we're gonna listen to the track.
Yeah,
Madan
I'm
Mardi.
down.
What's the song called?
Jue Diya Hara.
Yeah.
Yo, okay, so he sent me that song. Yeah, it still says Young Fateh on it. That's so
You
crazy.
want to hear it first or talk about it
No,
first?
tell the story.
Okay,
I say
I'll tell the
talk
story.
about
So
it,
he
yeah.
sent me the song, and he's like, I was like, "What do you want from me?" He's like, "Yo, do whatever." I was like, "How many verses you want?" He's like, "Do two." He's like, "Do 2 or 3." He's like, "I'll choose from it." I was like, "Cool." Literally before he went to bed, because he's 5 hours before, he had the song back. I was like, "Yo, I did it." I was super nervous. I was like, "Oh my god, I don't know what the hell this is." I gave it to him, and he was just like, "Yo, what the hell? How the hell did you do that quick?"
Wow.
I was like, "Well, I have a studio upstairs. I know how to record. I've done a cajillion songs already, like making music. Like this is what I do." Like I was like very influenced by Wayne. Like remember Wayne was like, "Go in there with fucking clips,
Yeah.
ammo, right? You looking for the producer?" Like I was
Yeah.
really like on that tip, so I was just recording all the time. So and this is again at that time where I was like, do I just keep doing it? And then Zeus called me, so I was like, all right, I got to get this done now. So I did it, and he was like just completely blown away with it, and he was really happy with that, which was dope.
Mhm.
And then that was it.
Didn't ask you to change a thing. Said everything's
No,
good.
no. He's like, just send me the vocals. I was like, all right, cool. But then back to like, I was like, okay, well, I'll never probably hear from this ever again. Then he called me 3 weeks later. He's like, can you shoot a video on a green screen for this?
Oh,
I
I
was like-
heard this story.
I was like, for real? And
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah. I was like, okay, I'm dumb. I didn't even ask for a budget or anything. Like, I was like, okay, cool. So I knew K-Ray. Shout out to K-Ray, man.
Yeah, shout
K-Ray
out to
went to
K-Ray, yeah.
Seneca at York for film.
Sick.
I was like, yo, can you get access to a green screen studio? She's like, yeah, I can. Or I'll try. I was like, okay, wicked. I forgot where she got a camera from. I think we borrowed someone's 5D. We snuck into a green screen studio
At
and
Seneca?
recorded the
at
video.
Seneca. There was no light, no one was there. Like literally, if like I have, I think footage from it. I still have it. There's no lights on. It's just a green screen studio.
Wow.
Like there's like regular house lights on,
Yeah.
but no lights on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she just shot it. And we shot my 3 verses.
So
'Cause
K
they're
Ray
like-
shot your first video
she
that
just-
ever
yeah,
popped.
Yeah. Well, it didn't
Wow.
pop because it's
Yeah.
still at like 50,000 views or something. But like, it was on TV though.
It
Which
popped.
was-
It popped, man.
Buddy,
If you're on
that's
TV, it
one of
popped.
my. I've sent it to him before. I'm like, yo, this is one of my
I know.
favorite records.
I actually didn't.
Wow.
I didn't
JJ
think-
showed me that song, and then I was like, yo, blown away. It's in like my last song in one of my podcasts. It's,
I
like,
didn't know you guys
It's
even heard
sick.
that. I didn't. Wasn't expecting any of you guys to even know that song.
That's dope. Can we hear the song?
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
Let's
listen
hear
to it.
Hold on, pause. So we do the video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I gotta finish the story.
We've
So-
never had this happen before, by
Yeah.
the way.
No,
but yeah.
sorry. No, I gotta.
It's your podcast. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
No, it's your podcast. But I just want to finish the story because it's an incredible story. Because again, this is a story of me completely meeting defeat,
Yeah.
and even expecting at the time where something's actually happening for me to nothing to happen. So we sneak into this thing at 10 p.m. Shoot the video. Send the mid shots, all that stuff. Stayed up all night, we transferring all that stuff, files. I was like, all right, cool, it's done. So 2 months go by, I haven't heard from Zeus. And then Zeus calls me. I didn't message him either. And Zeus calls me. He's like, yo, yeah, the video should be coming out this week. I was like, for real? He's like, yeah, the video, like, yeah, it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be coming out. All right, cool, man, peace. And I was like, all right.
You don't know what it's going to look like. You have no
I
idea
didn't
what's
ask.
going
Like,
on.
dude, I don't know the rules. Right? I'm
Yeah.
not like, yo, send it to
Did
me.
you know who Mother Muddy was?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
guy's a fucking
Yeah,
G.
no, I did. My
Okay.
parents told me and stuff
That's
like that.
crazy. Hold on. Let's make a round of applause for K-Ray and Fateh for making that happen, man. That's
Epic.
huge.
Shout out to
Zeus.
Seneca.
And Zeus.
And
Zeus
Zeus.
for believing in me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then cherry on top, he had sent that song to 3 other rappers.
Do you know who they
Ooh,
were?
Okay.
No.
Oh.
Shout outs to Harry B. Too.
Yeah. So what had happened was he was doing his trial run.
Mhm.
He's like, I'm gonna send. As he sent that to 3 other rappers. I think one did whatever. The other one never recorded his song. Something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And
So-
you're right, Jyoti. Shout out to Harry B
Yeah.
for the
Yeah,
introduction.
shout out
as
to
well. Yeah.
shout out to
Small
Harry B,
connection,
man,
yeah.
for changing my life. Huh?
So did you know that like Zeus? How did you find out Zeus sent it to 3 other rappers
After,
after?
way later.
Okay.
Like when I finally met Zeus, like a
Yeah.
year later, he told me, he's like, we were talking about it. And then he's like, yeah, bro, I had sent it to 3 other rappers. And he's like, yo, there was just something about the way you did it, your cadence, the confidence, everything was great. And he's like, he's like, yo, I just felt it. He's like, it just clicked.
And you just heard that track. You heard the story before we dropped it. JJ, give him a little breakdown on that track. The name, who this man
Mother
is.
Muddy, Zeus, and obviously the almighty
Juice,
Fateh.
Juice Paji.
Juice. Oh my God. I'm going to go into something real quick. And I love this guy. He's an awesome writer, awesome guy. Everything was great the way we met really quickly. This has nothing to do with what we're
Is
talking
it
about.
Jelly?
No.
no.
Navi
Feroz.
Compose,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Firozpuria?
Yeah.
So we're sitting in a meeting with him, Gataz, and Gataz is like, yo, sorry, it's us and Gataz. So me, Jyoti, KSR, and Gataz, Pindarakia. And he's like, yo, I'm going to bring my writer. I'm like, all right, cool. Brings Navi. Navi sits down. Swear to God.
This guy's name dropping.
30,
We don't
40
know.
minutes, he's talking about this man named Juice Paji. I'm sitting there like, yo, who the fuck is this Juice Paji? This guy's some baller, some crazy guy.
Yeah.
It was at a certain point in the conversation where I looked and I'm like, I tapped KSR. I'm like, he's talking about Zeus. He's like, oh my God, that's who he's talking about. Like,
Oh,
nobody
man.
knew.
Oh, man.
I just love that.
So it did have something to do with what we're talking about.
A little bit.
Juice. Oh, shout out to Juice Baji.
Juice Paji.
for-
Zeus.
Yeah.
Zeus.
Juice.
Zeus. All right, I gotta ask you about this. I'm gonna say the line actually. So niggas told me Fateh gon' switch. They was dead right. Man, he fake with that beard, Rick Ross.
Huh? What?
You ever never heard that line?
No.
All right, and he goes on about how he's gonna make you jump like crisscross.
I like crisscross.
So this is actually somebody. The reason I asked this is because I saw a picture posted a little while ago, and it was a throwback of you and Sonny Malton. So
Yeah.
Sonny Malton dropped a track. I think it was like 2015. Just stay humble though, something like that.
Stay humble though, yeah.
Stay humble
Oh
though.
yeah. That's from that. Yeah.
So he went at you. It looked like he went at humble. He went at just rain all on
Yeah.
the one track.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you guys were homies. You guys made music together. You were on Renaissance together. You guys
Yeah,
made a
yeah.
few tracks. What happened in that time? And did you expect that? Were you kind of blindsided by that track coming out?
Yeah, it was a little bit blindsiding.
Mhm.
what happened, I'm not sure exactly what happened. I don't even think they were sure what happened. I think definitely there was some miscommunication. Lots of miscommunication. I find that passive aggressiveness runs in the Punjabi community a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't like to sit in front of each other and be like, you know what, Kultar, I don't like the shirt you're wearing.
Fuck, I love this shirt.
I'm joking. I like it. I'm joking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it was just one of those situations. I'm sure that there were some certain things that I've done
You're absolutely right.
that they might not have been happy with.
Especially with artists, I think they're a little extra sensitive as well.
Exactly. So, you know, they felt that was right. But later on in life, like, you know, I think it was like over a year now.
Yeah.
We all jumped on the phone
Yeah.
and we had a conversation and we pieced it out. And we realized that, like, our friendship and the things we've gone through, because, like, we came up together.
Yeah.
You get what
Absolutely.
I mean?
I mean, like you said, Bird was
Yeah.
the first guy that you knew. Him and Sonny are brothers. Yeah,
Exactly. And, like, they even told me that, like, even when we made this situation, that dish or whatever, we saw you doing things and we were just genuinely happy for you. And they did so high and, you know, we still hadn't talked, but I was genuinely happy for them. Because I know how hard, like, yo, when you're with people, you know how hard they've been working. You know their circumstances and, you know, where they're trying to go in life. To see just people achieve even a small amount of success, and at that time, I mean, obviously it's huge, so high.
Well, I mean, with jealousy and hate at the same time, and those, I think that's a fine line, right? Well, not jealousy and hate, but I mean, gratitude and happiness. It's a mix of emotions because it's somebody like me and Em are both DJs, and we're both, you know, learning how to DJ. We both learn. We're both getting good at it. All of a sudden, he gets, you know, this big shot with, you know, whoever, this big DJ, and he gets to go and do all these shows. Now he's on the road. He's making his name. I know that I'm just as good, if not better. And we came up together. We did the grind, but nobody's calling my phone. No, I haven't made it yet. So I think that probably had something to do with it. Like, Sonny's been grinding for a long time. He's been putting in work, and then he sees, you know, the people around him are starting to move up, and he's.
I think it's beyond that, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
I know,
because like
he mentions. I mean, you were involved with the another group of friends at that time. You were with Just Rain, Bubble, all these guys.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't get along with them as.
But
as
even
much.
when we were doing Zoo Babies, like everybody in that whole camp, we had that one. I forgot what song it was, but we
Yeah.
had that one song, and we're like, "Yo, you know the guy we need to have in the song? Like, he's so good that we need him on this song. Is Sonny Malton."
I
and
always
we put
wondered
him on that
why
song.
he wasn't a part of Zoo Babies. Like,
You
I
know
think
what
he would have
it's
fit
just,
in.
The only reason it wasn't like he wasn't a part of it. The only reason it didn't happen is because Zoo Babies was made off a whim as a happy birthday tribute with Supreme Duffel Bag for
This-
Gil P.
yo,
that the
Supreme
five of
Duffel
them
Bag,
did.
yeah.
So that
Zoe was a complete accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just worked. There's just
Yeah.
5 guys happened to be in a room that made a song that did something.
Yeah.
When we did the album, everybody said, I think everybody off the get-go was like, yo, Sonny Malton needs to be
We
on
need-
this track.
yeah.
He's so sick.
Yeah.
That was like, we felt like that was a missing link, and I really pushed for that.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that you had set it up because in 2015, like, I was trying to piece it together, and I saw in May you dropped a track and you said you want to be a chatty patty, better say my name. And I thought that you were talking about, maybe you were just saying that in general, but that was during that song you did with Just Rain, the Punga remix.
Oh, I think that was just that
was just a
That was
line.
a reference to the Breakfast Club interview.
Oh,
when
the Chatty
Charlamagne
Patty,
and
yeah.
it was just a reference.
Okay,
It
so I
was
thought
nothing
it
like
was a
that.
setup for that. And then,
No.
did you ever think to respond to the diss track?
I did.
Mhm.
I had recorded some songs, but
You took the Drake route and said, fuck it, I'm not going to do that.
yeah, I was kind of like, yo, do I want to indulge my energy on this?
Because you were on and popping at this time. This is 2015, and everything's happening for you, right?
I always knew that me and Malton would end up being cool again. So I was like, if I do this, is gonna keep going back and forth.
Yeah.
Because Malton strives for that.
Which
Yeah.
most people
Yo.
would have done, like publicity wise. It's good, but
Yeah.
it's the energy.
Well,
Yeah.
like you say, he does thrive off that aggression.
Malton
he wants
loves
somebody
it.
to
He's
say
a-
something
he's
back.
He's a battle. Like, he watches battle raps
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. He likes that stuff, and he's dope at it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he's good at it, and that he strives off that energy. Me, not so much. Like, I could have done it for a song or two, but it just, like, we know too much about each other. It just would have got too far, fam. Like,
Yeah,
we-
you don't have a
Personal.
kid somewhere like Drake, right? That we don't know about.
No, I
Nothing
mean,
like that.
No,
right?
no, I don't. But, like, you know what I mean?
Not-
It was
not
just-
yet.
yeah.
That's dope. So I mean, eventually you guys did get over that in a sense, and you guys. I mean, I see you now.
Yeah.
He was
Weird.
actually there to witness it. I was there as well. I missed
I was
it,
actually
though.
very surprised because we were at Rebel, right? And Malton called you out on
Yeah.
stage, and I was like, "Yo, that's crazy! That's something big for the whole city."
That's
Yeah.
Because
sick.
nobody was expecting that. I don't think you guys have performed. The last time I seen Sonny Malton and Fateh on a stage together was at Wind Lions Roar.
Woo! Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That was what, 10
I
years
didn't
ago?
think about
That's
that.
true. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And no, and then he came out. So when I performed Neo Jonathan at that time, he came out of
Yeah.
nowhere and just hyped me with me.
Yeah,
Hyped
it was
with
sick.
And that was so
That was so
sick.
dope because
Yeah.
I was like, man, I wish somebody was here with me because usually it's like Babu or my boy Tanmit
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Dice or somebody, and then like I look back,
Yeah.
Malton's there and he's spitting Neo John, they word for word. I'm like, all right, see, like that's what
That's
it's about.
real love right
You know
there,
what I mean?
man.
That's
Yeah,
like,
and
yeah,
Malton, I gotta
that's
say, he had
epic.
great energy that night, man. He was
Amazing.
on stage and he was shouting out everybody. He's
Malton's
having
a
a great
wicked
time.
performer,
Yeah.
man.
I think it's also like I said. I mean, when you do make it and your hard work finally shows, it's got to be a good feeling. That was like 2,000 people in that place, and everybody's cheering and they're having a good time. So that's a good success story, and I'm happy for everybody who
For sure.
got up there and did a good job. You know,
for sure.
that's fantastic. Moving past that, let's get into 2013. Actually, almost backtrack because you guys mentioned Zoo Babies. I want to talk about that Supreme Duffel Bag. Like you said, it happened as an accident.
Yeah.
Now
a
all of a
birthday.
sudden, it's you, it's B Magic, there's Noise, there's Babu, and there's Villa the Killer. There's 5 of you guys, right?
Yeah.
So you guys decide that we're gonna make a group. What's the mentality behind this? You're on with Zeus, you're popping. How do you have time for Zoo Babies, and what was your thought process with that?
No, I think the timeline was that like we didn't decide, like what JJ just said, we didn't decide we were
Yeah.
gonna make the group.
Mhm.
We did the song Supreme Duffel Bag, and that got more views than any of us have ever gotten on our own.
Oh,
ever.
man.
Yep.
And it was only like 200,000.
Uh-huh.
But
That
like,
was huge at that time. We're like, what the fuck?
bro, 200,000, that's
We
like the
made it.
equivalent of 200 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, like it was, and everybody knew about it. So it wasn't us that were like, yo, we should make a group. It was like literally people were like, you guys have to do this. We want more music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then at that point, it was like we looked at each other. It would be dumb for us not to. And with Zeus, I think I only had that Mother Muddy track, and it was quiet for a bit after that.
Mhm.
And then with Zeus, I was always quietly working. Cause like with that kind of stuff, you never know when it's gonna come out. And Zeus is like doing so much. I remember he had done the Amrinder Gill album. I was on 3 tracks for that. The Bilal album, the Raj, like he was just constantly sending me stuff.
Tracks that made it into movies as well.
Yeah, bro, I was literally
You
just
had-
doing them in my room with no. That was the amazing thing because like there was no expectation.
Mhm.
So when you do something with no expectation and know like, oh yo, I'm trying to become big off this. He's like, yo, just do it.
Yeah.
And then he gave me so much quantity that I didn't even have time to think of, oh, is this song gonna be big? Is Pendu gonna be big? Is
You
this
had Deepika Padukone dancing to your rap.
that was way later.
Yeah.
That was way later. though. That was way
We'll-
later,
we'll
but that
talk
was
about
crazy.
that after.
Yeah, but that was amazing.
Uh-huh.
And then yeah, so Zoo Babies was happening on its own, thanks to JJ. Obviously, he made that happen.
Harmon as well.
JJ,
Harmon.
JJ
Yeah.
and Harmon, yeah, they
Mhm.
both they slapped us and they're like, you guys have to do this.
Yeah.
So we did it.
And you guys did a fantastic job. You guys put it, JJ. I remember being in his basement while you guys were recording, and literally with each one, I think you were quick, and B Magic and Noise were probably quick.
Magic
but
was so quick.
Babu and
Magic
Villa-
was done by the time we were talking about the conversation.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
yeah,
played-
I already got it done.
Actually, Magic was supposed to be here. He couldn't make it
We just-
until his nephew. But I mean, shout out to all those guys because I saw him put in the time and effort with every artist and kind of find their own individual sound and bring it together to make that amazing album that I think is so underrated.
I
still
think
till today.
everybody learned a lot from that process, including myself, learning how to like deal with 5 people,
Yeah.
6 people,
Yeah.
including Harmon.
Yeah, you
like,
wanted to kill
learning how
yourself
to like,
a few times.
yeah, probably, but like being in that situation, learning how to record everybody, learning how to talk to everybody. Huh?
Sorry.
No.
Yeah. No, we'll keep going.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Don't
This
worry, this is
podcast
easy,
has
man.
no rules, man. And where's our photographer? I swear
Funny.
he was around here.
Photographer.
Punjabi nahi hoti? Oh, we're speaking Punjabi. That's
Take
why-
some
that's why he
pictures,
laughed.
man.
Anyways, go on.
Many- Water?
Yeah, having like 5-6 egos to deal with, people to deal with, and then that's huge on me. But then having guys who have to do only 16 when they're used to doing a full song, except for Fateh at that time because he was doing the Zeus stuff. Most guys are used
No,
to
I'm
like
doing my
writing
own
like
stuff, yeah.
3 fucking separate verses with a chorus and blah blah. And they're like, okay, hold on. So all I have to write is a 16. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, okay, so what do I do? To just rap? And like, no, make it sound like a chorus. Make your own 16 like a chorus. They're like, all right, cool. I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
And like everyone's kind of getting used
Fake
to
it
that
to
whole
make it
idea.
almost kind of thing.
I think
right?
overall it was just like it was a learning. Sorry, it was a learning process for everybody.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, because like not only do we have to do that, we have to figure out song structure now. You actually have to figure out
With
yo,
5
wherever-
people,
with
do
5
we have a
people going-
chorus?
I think the most important thing for me was being comfortable on stage. Because remember, like, yo, we
Daisy
had we
Fest.
were
You guys perform. You practice a lot.
Yo,
I
we
remember
did
being
a
I don't
lot
think
of
people
shows.
understand. We opened up for Ace Hood.
yeah, when Ace
Zoo
Hood was
Babies
popping.
open
Was that
up
the
for
West
Ace
Jet
Hood.
stage?
That's crazy.
No, not
No.
the West Jet. We did the
Bro.
West Jet
Yeah,
stage
I
too.
remember that too.
5 people in the audience. But there was more people on stage than there was in the crowd.
100%.
Facts only. But yo, it was crazy because it was like we learned so much on how to be on stage, and I think that helped me because when I ended
You
up,
never needed to know how to be on
no,
stage,
but
man.
I still needed it. To an
You're probably
extent.
your strongest suit has always been your stage presence. Like, I don't know if you guys like talking about When Lands Roar. This guy, the first thing that me and Harmon picked up
Yeah.
were like, Harmon's like, yo, did you see Fateh? I'm like, yeah. He's like, that guy, that was like a fucking 30-foot stage, and the guy was eating up the entire stage the entire time.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
And that's huge. At
Yeah.
your age, where you're like,
was
you were
young,
hungry.
yeah.
Do you,
was
do you
super
think
young,
you either got it or you don't when it comes to that, or you can learn that as time goes?
I think you could learn it. I was always on stages like Pangrato, all that kind of stuff, and I love the art of performing, so I just wanted to be on
You
stage.
didn't care if there was one
No.
person or 100,000. You're going in on it.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
actually like it more when I think most artists can say this. Like, it's better than when there's more people than less people.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Gives
less
you
people
energy,
makes you
right?
awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But no, I think Zoo Babies taught us that too. And you know what's the crazy thing that we like in 2018 we're still talking about Zoo Babies, right?
Yeah.
And I know we're friends and we're all friends with Zoo Babies, but I go to shows in the States. Every time I have a show, somebody asks me about Zoo Babies. I was in Alabama.
Wow.
Alabama.
Which was amazing. One of my best shows last year. Was
way.
it this year?
Like
Yeah, that
we
was this
said,
year.
Punjabis are everywhere, eh?
Yeah.
For
It was a
real.
mixed crowd.
Uh-huh.
And then this guy in the backstage, he's like, "Yo, I know the whole Zoo Babies album word for word in Alabama."
That's crazy.
And like, I was like, "Say, swear to God." He's like, "Yo, I love that album. Like, can you come back?"
Look
He's
at
like,
the
"I'm
impact.
a fan of Zoo Babies."
So-
He's like, "That's how I know about you."
Can we announce it? Can we say that the Zoo Babies too, or is that too far fetched right now?
I mean, I
I'm
can't speak for everybody.
I'm gonna say something. I've had a talk with Magic, and I know Magic wants to put together something on his podcast.
Mhm.
Shout out
Gumbo Studios.
Gumbel. No,
Yeah,
what's the
well,
name?
Immigrant
Hustle.
Hustle.
Yeah, Immigrant Hustle.
My
yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah.
it's another
I
good
keep saying
podcast to check
No,
out.
he's a
when it
homie,
drops.
man. He's
Huh?
family.
It's another good podcast.
It's a
yeah.
really good
I think
podcast.
they're dropping all their episodes.
They're gonna
real
drop them
too.
soon,
Yeah.
but they're gonna get all the Zoo Babies on the episode. And I know
That's dope.
Babu's already
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah, I'm done.
Fateh's agreed. So it
Just
should be
now.
good. I
So
think,
that
and I
might-
think
that
Villa's
might
agreed
be-
too. So the other two are the hosts.
I'll bring the baja just so we have an accidental duffel bag again. And it might just pop from there, right?
But yeah, like
Yeah.
I hope it is. I'm down, and I think everyone's
But you-
grown to
you're
the point
open
where
to
everyone's.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fateh said it. There, you heard it. Zoo Babies 2, it's coming out. I'm announcing it.
If
before it even
not a
comes out.
project, I mean, at least a song.
Yeah, at least,
least
you
a
know?
song.
And that's where it starts from. Everybody's busy. And
But look at where everyone is right now.
Mm-hmm.
But like Jay-Z also said something. He's like, you can't recreate a moment.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want to tarnish the legacy of Zoo Babies either. Like, imagine, because you'll never live up to the expectation. You can.
Well, you guys have all gotten better, so I don't know.
I don't know. But
Right.
there might have been something that was different about that time
Mhm.
of why it made it special.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm willing to try it. I'm not saying
Nah, I
I'm
don't
not.
think so.
But like, Fuller House. Come on.
Yeah.
It's not as good as Full House,
Oh,
right?
come on. I know.
You know what I mean? If there's
But-
a Fresh Prince 2, come on, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's
you know
not
what I
gonna
mean?
be
So
the
it's
same,
it's
yeah.
not always the same. As much as we want it to be the same.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm just like, should we just let the legacy live? But it was a fun time, and those videos are still up there, so everybody should be
So-
watching those.
So during Zoo Baby's time, you're still, like you said, you're busy with Zeus.
Yeah.
You dropped Neo Jande, one of your biggest tracks till date.
I think that was after. That was well
That
after.
was
Zoo Baby.
2015.
Way later.
I think.
Way later. I probably had done it by then, but I didn't release it till later.
Inch was the track. Yeah,
No,
Inch.
Inch was 2014 too.
Yeah,
no?
man.
Later.
This was way after.
16, 17, 18.
All
yeah,
that stuff was
man.
way after.
Yeah, all way
Uh-huh.
after. Like Zoo Babies and Zeus was like, I was literally, these are two things that I was just trying. So with Zeus,
So Zeus had just started. Zoo Babies was happening, and then this is 2013ish.
2012, 2013.
Okay, and then so Zoo Babies happens. Dinka, actually one of my favorite
Yeah.
songs
I think
off the album.
Grande was out by then. Though.
Okay,
I
th-
think
that
because I
might have
remember
been-
Magic being at the
Uh-huh.
shoot.
Yeah, that was.
I
a good
remember
track.
Magic being at the shoot. Your boy shot it.
Yeah, digitology.
Yeah.
Digitology,
Yeah,
okay.
Digitology shot it.
Uh-huh.
So I remember like maybe that was out
Yeah.
or that had just come out.
No,
but-
I think that was after too. Because I remember during I know we're going too winded into this, but like during Zoo Babies, that was when me and you kept having our talks about
doing that stuff.
like
yeah.
the slower like the slower type of hip hop, the
Yeah.
like the more broken breathing space type of hip hop.
Yeah.
So I think it was after that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It was right around that time. So whether it was maybe right
Yeah.
after the album dropped or whatever it was, I do remember specifically working on Zeus stuff while we were doing Zoo Baby stuff.
So 2015 comes around, and that was the year, the breakout year, I guess I'd say, right?
2015.
2015, because that's when Neo Jonte and Inch both dropped.
I don't know. Actually, I've never looked at
Well,
the
fuck
timeline.
the dates. Let's just say that. No, I'm kidding. But
Yeah, but Neo Jonte didn't pop till way later, man.
well, I thought
I'm gonna say Neo
Jonte
Jonte
was
got big-
2015 because
It was out.
you got nominated for 3 awards in 2015 as well.
Yeah.
So,
For
but that must have
Asia.
been for those tracks.
It was mostly for like Inch and the stuff that the contribution I've done
So
to
Neo
Zeus
Jonte was
songs.
after all of this.
Yeah. Like my solo stuff was always under the radar in the Punjabi world.
I find that interesting because you're nominated for 3 Brit Asia awards.
Not
and
this year though. I don't know.
Not
why.
yeah, I don't know what happened with that either. That's weird. Maybe
Just dropped a great album.
yeah,
this year.
absolutely. But
Who
you-
cares about British anyways? You're whack. We said it. We said it. We said it. We said it.
But
Yeah,
you're
man.
working at this time. You're like the feature king in a sense. Like you're on so many tracks, and then I hear you say basically, I heard someone say I'm a filler on songs, but without me they dead. I'm the thriller on songs. So
Bring them alive. Yeah.
I mean, how did you feel about that? Did you think you were being put into a certain lane of just being a feature artist? Did you know you knew what you had in store, what you were doing, but were you worried about being labeled as just that type of artist?
I don't think I was worried about it going in. I did start becoming one, and I also realized I let myself become one. So which is to say that like I should have always been doing my own thing. Like, you know what I mean? You can't build a career off of just being on somebody's song.
But I'm gonna put it from my perspective in the sense that you're building for 10 years. You're not making any money. You're grinding. You're getting shit on all the time, and then all of a sudden now you're getting checks you're getting pounds, you're getting dollars, you're getting rupees. How do you say no to that and say, oh well, that's okay. I'm gonna choose what I'm gonna do now. I think that's work ethic in the sense of it's coming and you're putting in the work, right?
No, and I grinded hard those 2-3 years, and I did every song that came my way, and I wasn't even worried about money. I literally was not worried about money at all. It was about the passion, this opportunity that Zeus is giving me, and the learning. Like, yo, dude, I went to so many countries broke or like not getting paid like very little. You know what I mean? And it was just like just off of the bump off, yo, I might not get this opportunity to do this again. And this is an experience, and that I get to learn.
Yeah.
And just being around Zeus, who's 20 years veteran, who's learned so much. Even Zora, before he had his songs, he's been around artists, he's been around the world, he's seen so much. So just to be around these guys was something I wanted to do. So I wasn't necessarily ever worried about, yo, like, is he gonna be, or am I gonna be the feature guy or whatever, right? I wasn't worried about that because I was like, yo, as long as I keep, and that's what Zeus kept telling me too. He's like, as long as you keep killing these features, who's gonna say what to you?
Yeah.
And that was what my goal was.
Mm-hmm.
But at one point, it did get to the point where I was like, all right, I think I'm done, because I was like, this is not as fulfilling as it used to be.
Not done working on. You need a project.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
done, not done as in like I'm done, I'm never doing this again. But yeah, like this is losing its fulfillment. It's becoming.
But you were
easy.
also getting
Yeah.
shows on your own now too.
Yeah.
And when you're getting shows on your own where you're doing only features, I think
Yeah.
that was when we had I remember
Yeah.
us having a talk. He's like, "Yo, every time I do a show, the songs which I'm on features on are getting more love, but then I'm doing less work on stage." He's like, "I need bangers where I have a project to go out there and I do it and people know it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was like
And that was hard to do because it's like, now do we make when Bring It Home is a good example. You've heard Bring It Home. You guys have all
course I've
heard.
heard
Such a
it.
sick
So
album.
thank you, man. Like I was so confused and
By the way, I've
conflicted.
been waiting like a year to talk about Bring It Home.
Should we
so-
get into it? Do you
Well,
want to go
yeah,
through
we're
your timeline?
gonna-
Hold on. First of all,
No,
I just
no,
wanna
we're good,
say-
we're
I just
good.
want to say
We're
I
gonna
listened to that album when it was out for maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I was driving from here to Detroit, which is like a 4-hour drive. So I was like, okay, fuck this new album. When I put it on, I did not skip a single song on that album. And then I went through it, and my boy Simon was with me, so he can validate this. So we listened to the whole album. Like, yo, this was fucking crazy. Boom, from the top again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Before we
Crazy.
even talk about it, let's
The
make some
best-
noise for the album.
The
man.
best
Huge,
Punjabi
huge
hip hop album,
Am I making
and
noise by
I love
myself?
Punjabi
That's it,
hip hop. That was the best
I
Punjabi
remember
hip
you
hop
said it
album.
when it came out.
That's amazing, man.
Well, you mentioned that Zeus actually gave you all I mean along the way you're learning, but he's actually giving you the tools to become self-sufficient, right? Throughout this time.
100%.
And he's kind of teaching you instead of like what I would say most people would do, or like that Birdman mentality of like keeping the artist locked under him and controlling him to do, because he could have did that to you. He could have signed you up for a contract and held on to you and kind of did what he wanted with your career. But like you say, I mean, he kind of gave you the wings to fly and do your own thing, right?
Yeah, just off the bat, Zeus is the reason I am here today, even on this podcast.
That's respect right there.
Zeus is and
That's huge.
and
Man, make some noise
JJ
for that. Yeah, absolutely.
and JJ
Yeah.
and Harmon and like the whole the family esque actors.
But it's
on
Zeus,
it.
man.
No, yeah, Zeus put me
Zeus
onto this
put
next
you-
level. But
The family is an
groundwork-
archery club, right?
But Harmon says this too. The groundwork that we did prior to Zeus calling me is the reason why I was ready for that moment.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But also that that work ethic of every week or every like it was a point where I remember calling you like, yo, I gotta finish the Zeus track.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Can you call me after?
Yeah.
Next week I gotta finish the Zeus track.
Yeah.
Like every week this guy had a Zeus track he had to finish.
Yeah.
That work ethic only makes you better. Imagine doing a song where it's not your song and all you have to do is fill in 2/16s.
But yo, JJ,
And you have to make those 2/16s that part. That's huge.
Go ahead.
Even before like that first Madin
Madin,
track, like before Zeus probably even heard for this verse, the fact that you sent him something in 3 hours, he
Yeah.
sent it to three,
So
even
that's-
if he sent it to 10 people, without listening to it, the work ethic right away, you know
Right?
that this
Like, did
person's
you think
serious.
of showing
100%.
somebody and be like, I'm gonna send this to Zeus? Should I
I'm
show
sure
my
I
peer?
showed somebody,
Uh-huh.
maybe a girl I was talking to or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm sure I showed somebody at that time.
Your dad and the uncles? Maybe?
No. Oh my God, on the car.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you, JJ. But I think like the work. Okay, like when I say JJ is the reason. JJ taught me how to count bars. The first 2 mixtapes I did, 50 songs altogether now. They're all off bar.
Yeah.
So if you didn't teach me how to count bars, do you think Zeus would care for me on a song? Shut up. No, he
Yeah,
wouldn't.
take
It
the
was
credit.
off
I
me.
think work
Take
ethic.
the
I
credit.
think work ethic is
Ustad,
No, no,
just
no.
You know, there's a
I still
lot,
had
a
to
lot of
work-
people that JJ's done similar things for that
So
maybe don't say
the
it,
minute
you know?
JJ sat me down and taught me how to count bars, my music changed tenfold right off the bat. Then I was always working very, very hard, and the things we were doing behind the
JJ,
scenes.
ask for a Rolex. Ask for a Rolex.
yeah, we're gonna get you one. We're gonna get you one. Don't worry.
How do you know I don't already have one?
Oh, Deep Jandu money.
Yeah.
What?
What? Anyways, that's yo. We put in some work. There's a lot of people, obviously, that you can't. Yeah, Zeus, you're the reason I'm here. Thank you so much.
dope. Shout
I
out
love
to
you.
Big time.
man.
You
Absolutely.
are the reason I signed, and I don't forget about it.
Yeah. No, well, let's get into what Zeus, JJ, yourself, and your parents created, which was your first actual album that you dropped. So
Yeah.
this is your first piece of work after dropping 60 tracks, putting them out there to 3 different mixtapes, 20 tracks, 20 tracks on a
Three different
mixtape.
mixtapes and Zoo Baby, so that was 4.
And Zoo Babies, yeah, absolutely.
That's 4.
So now you're finally like, okay, it's me. It's my time. Let me put out my own work. You decided to go mainly Punjabi. This is all Punjabi hip hop that you're going with, right?
there's some songs on there that have like a split of English.
There's
Yeah.
there's Amar Sandhu track that has a
And
little
Leo
Leo
bit
John
Jonte is
yeah.
half English.
Yeah.
You don't
Uh-huh.
realize it because it goes so quick.
Yeah, that's true.
It's half
You-
English.
I think that's a skill that you have is how you transition from Punjabi to English. It's so like it's
Fluid.
So, yeah, fluid. That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
I have to say,
Yeah.
I know. I worked really
Yeah.
hard on making it. Like I was like I concentrated on it, like needle, like you know what I mean. Like it has to be fluid and amazing, and I worked
And
on
it's
that.
so
Yeah.
clear and
can
concise. Like
see
guys
it,
like
man.
me and M, you know, our Punjabi's okay,
Like I said,
and we can hear it and we listen
My
to
favorite
it.
Punjabi hip hop album is Bring It Home.
Bring it home.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you know the crazy part? The part that like I've always thought about. I don't think I've ever talked about this with you.
Yeah.
Is that so on a work ethic level, that Bring It Home album and the other album afterwards, this guy spends so much time on shit which I would just be like, yo, it's good. Don't worry, it's good, man. Let's just fucking move. And that's my mentality. Like, yo, let's get it out. The 1-2% no one's gonna realize. Him he'll scrap a whole song on a line.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I don't like the line. I'm gonna rewrite the whole thing.
That's-
I'm like, what the fuck? And I believe that's from his whole entire upbringing of, like the whole
Get
like
his shitter
getting
on as
shitted
well,
on.
and
Like
all that shit. Yeah,
and
yeah,
that
yeah.
part of it, that shows like that's a big impact in his life.
Yeah.
And it's hard to like. I mean, you write a song, you think that you have it. You guys. It's not like a 2-minute thing. Like maybe some songs you go in, but a lot of it, you guys are here till late nights working.
Yeah.
To throw away a song that you think is good.
We've done a song, and he's been like, "Nah, I'm gonna rewrite the whole thing." I'm like,
Yeah. I
"Oh,
rewrote.
thanks for wasting my life."
I rewrote.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this. Only probably Prophecy knows this. The first verse to Fame, I rewrote 3
Dude, are you
to
reading
4
this?
times.
I didn't know we were gonna talk about Fame.
3 to 4 times. Okay, no, we'll get
Three,
to that.
3 to 4 times you guys
Yeah.
wrote Fame.
I rewrote the verse
Are you
myself.
serious?
That's my favorite track off the
Can-
album.
Can you break down why you wrote Fame? Because you talk, obviously it's about fame and not really caring for fame, but
Okay.
kind of what was the significance behind that and what kind of made that come about?
So I want to get back to Bring It Home after this, but yeah, Fame.
Well, Fame is on Bring It Home, right?
Yeah. Like I wanted to talk about like
Oh, in general.
just like okay, yeah, we'll talk about that in general. Fame came with I met Prophecy once, and then the second time I met him, Prophecy just showed up to my house. It was so interesting.
Here in Brampton.
Yeah. I didn't know who Prophecy was. I heard of Prophecy. I never listened to his music. Shout out to Gurpreet, my homie Gurpreet, big thanks thing. He put me on a Prophecy after. So Prophecy hits me up. He's like, yo, I'm in Brampton. I knew he was a singer. He's like, yo, you want to meet? Can I come to your studio? I was like, cool. He came to my house, and then, hey man, what's up? Right, I was like, sick.
Kind of like what you did to Bird, same day.
Yeah, like pretty much. And then we talked, and he was cool, and I was like, okay, this guy's dope. And then I listened to his album at that time, Future Proof, after he left.
Okay.
Bro, I fell in love with that album. You know that album, right? Future Proof?
Yep, that's a sick album.
That's
crazy,
Oh my
crazy,
god!
crazy
I was like,
album.
yo, this guy's amazing. So I met him after that again, and then me and Prophecy, when we met, we were kind of in the same space at that time that day. We were both feeling the same thing, which was, let me go back to it. So the idea was like, yo, like this idea of fame that everybody's striving for.
Mhm.
I don't think we're famous. We're not like crazy famous or anything like that. We're like, yeah, we out here. Like people know about us. But, we're in this weird position where we're not super famous and super rich, but we're not like,
Yeah.
you know what I
regular,
mean? So
yeah.
like, and it's such a weird position because we're talking about the family stuff. Like, like our family's parading us around. How like
I'm just picturing him talking about his family, saying,
No, we
Go
were
to
like,
that-
we,
go
were
sing.
really, we were really stressed. Like it was like a sad day. Like we were just talking. It was like well, we were going through things. I think he was going through some like maybe some management stuff. I forgot what it was, and I was going through some stuff. And I was like, man, this is crazy. Like you know what I mean? Stuff's not working. Like we were just felt that thing, right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, now there's this like newfound fame or this success that we have, and like you feel like an object. And the people around you are objectifying you, whether it's for money or whether it's for your celebrity or whether it's for whatever it is. And the genuine care for you as a human being gets lost.
Mhm.
And it was like everything I'm talking about in that song was true. Like legit, like true. Like I'm having to go to people's houses who's never asked me before so I can take a picture with Flanetem Kada's son.
Like,
Yeah.
you had mentioned about
That's
your relatives
100%.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
And then I have to do it
Uh-huh.
because it's like, then if you don't do it, you think you're too big. you
yeah,
did.
yeah.
So it was just this weird thing. And then like a lot of the times you would go there and they're just like, all right, cool, you took the picture, you could dip, bro. Like whatever. Like it's like they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
Like,
they did it for the gram,
Like,
and that
yo,
was
let me
it,
ask you
yeah.
how you are. What are you working on?
Yeah.
Nothing. So it was just this weird position where we're not super famous, making mad money, but then we're not,
Yeah.
SoundCloud artists yet, trying to get a couple of views. So it's just this weird position we were in. So we had a long conversation, and then Prophecy went home and sent me that chorus.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, yo, man, like this.
He absolutely killed
It was
on
kind of
that.
like the idea was this is not all it's all coped up to be, or like
Cracked up to be.
cracked up, yeah, whatever. That in Ingregion di Mudenu. So
Come
like
on,
it's not all that. It's not all that. All right, Boner.
Thank
Big
you,
Bone.
Tarn. Appreciate
See you later, bro. So it's not all it's hyped up to be,
Mhm.
and there's some really ugly sides of it. And Punjabi music never talks about the ugly side. Of it.
No.
ever.
Never.
That's
It's
so
always
true.
a surface.
Everything
We're
is-
always pushing you that I have the hottest women.
the patake.
I have the Ferraris.
Yeah.
I have everything. We're always lying to
Yet
the
they go home to
followers.
their
Hey,
Honda
what do you-
Civic
what do you-
hatchback.
What do you got
Yeah.
against Ferraris, yo?
I love how, I love how
No,
Tari-
I love Ferraris.
I love
mean,
how Tari
I
refers to
just,
girls as patake.
Yeah.
No, but that's true. Like the topics in Punjabi music are very narrow.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like we planned it out, because then that wouldn't have been authentic. Like, okay, let's do different करते हैं
I think it
कुछ
came.
भाई। different करते हैं
Sort of different.
लोकी fame बारे गाना बनाने हैं, ਅਸੀਂ anti fame बनाने हैं, right? Like,
No,
it wouldn't have been
it
authentic.
translates in the song. You can hear it. And the fact that you said I spoke about things that are really happening to me, I heard that throughout the whole album. It felt like you were really telling your own truth, where
Yeah.
you're speaking about life experience and, you know,
When
what's
he does
actually
his own
happened to you.
album, he always does life experiences.
Yeah.
I wanted to, because
Epic.
that's why I started doing music.
Yeah.
Is to be therapeutic in some sense, and to express myself.
Yeah.
So like the fun stuff, the bangla stuff is cool. You could do that easy peasy, but the fulfillment I get from making a song like Tarika or Fame
Yeah.
or even To Whom It May Concern, like
Oh,
from mentally is like
even listening to it,
Yeah.
man, like it
Can,
takes you
can
to
we,
it puts
can we
you to
hear
another-
Fame? Can we guys want to
Yes.
listen to Fame?
Go into that.
आजकल
Yeah.
मेरे आसे पास
ਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਇਸ਼ਾਰਤਾਂ ਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫੇਮ 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 ਓਕੇ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ ਮੇਰੇ ਆਸੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਾਜੀ ਬਾਜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਰਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਉਹ ਧੋਖਾ ਵੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਬਣਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਸਟਾਰ ਇਹ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਲਈ ਨਾ ਤਿਆਰ ਫਰਜ਼ ਕਰੋ ਮੇਰੇ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਯਾਰ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਲਈ ਸੀ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਅੱਜ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਨੇ ਨਿਕਲੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਮਤਲਬੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਸਾਰੀ ਦੇ ਦਵਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕੁਛ ਕੀਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿਨ ਰਾਤ ਦੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਲੱਭਦੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਤਾਂ ਬੜਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਪਰ ਚੰਗਾ ਹੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਕਈ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਦੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾ ਬੁਲਾਇਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਸੱਦੇ ਉਤੇ ਸੱਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਸਾਡਾ ਆਇਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਤਾਏ ਦੇ ਚਾਚੇ ਦੇ ਮਾਸੜ ਦੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਨੇ ਫੋਟੋ ਇਹ ਖਿੱਚਣੀ ਸੀ ਜੇ ਔਖਾ ਵੇਲਾ ਆਇਆ ਮੇਰਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਕਲ ਦਿਸਣੀ ਨੇ So please leave me alone ਹੋ ਜਾਓ ਮੈਂ ਤੋਂ ਪਰੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਸੀ ਫੈਨ ਹੋਣੇ ਉਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੋਂ ਸੜੇ ਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ fake friends ਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ yes man ਬਸ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਕਾਮਯਾਬੀ and a real love ਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਇਸ਼ਾਰਤਾਂ ਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ fame ਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਇਸ਼ਾਰਤਾਂ ਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ fame ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ fame ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ
All right, we're back. Big track, Fame. You broke down why you guys made that track, how it happened. You said you rewrote that verse
the
four
first
times.
verse
Three
the first-
times.
yeah.
3 times. So if anybody thinks that was easy, that definitely was not. But you got it, and you guys made an incredible track. The rest of that album is absolutely amazing as well. I mean, you have your childhood friend Raginder, who plays violin on that. He also does some singing on there as well, right?
No. Everybody thinks it's him. The singing, I'm clear for everybody. On Trika is Surtal.
Oh, okay.
That's his actual
Hell
first
yeah.
cousin.
Mhm.
He's singing that.
These guys are named like after music and stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah. Like, because their families are like musicians and stuff.
Super,
Like
Surtal.
serious.
super musical.
Rog in there.
And then
Rog,
Surtal, that's
Surtal,
crazy.
Yeah.
You say that your music's based on real things that are happening. Is Tariqa a real story? Is
Yeah.
that your father actually?
Yeah,
And he's in remission.
Yeah,
No,
remission.
Okay,
Yeah. And my
glad
homie
to
as
hear
well.
that.
I was 2 people I was talking about. Not
Oh
so-
wow!
Yeah.
So we're really glad to hear that. I didn't know if that was you were speaking about somebody else or
No,
you're.
that was like real, man. Yeah, that was some tough stuff. Yeah.
And you're full fledged in your career at this time, so you got to take time off to kind of tend to family and be there for obviously for your
well,
father.
that was like the end of the whole album when I was almost done recording everything.
Okay.
And then I think I had a different first verse for it, for Trika.
Yeah.
And that was more about like myself. And I was like, F that, I'm gonna not talk about myself and let me go back and like talk about something real that
Yeah.
people other, and a lot of people hit me up and they're like, yo, I'm relating to that because like, you know, XYZ got diagnosed and da da da. And Yeah.
No,
So-
shout out to all the
That's
cancer
awesome.
survivors, even the people
So
who passed away. That's super dope to hear that your dad's okay now. Another track which was dope was the track Alone. I really like the visuals for that.
Oh, the new song off the new album.
That's off the new one, right? Okay, so we'll get to that. Sorry, I mixed my shit up there. Pandra Minta is a track that you
15
say is
minutes.
one of your favorites, right?
Yeah, like he asked me what my favorite is. I don't like every time I listen to that album, I have a different favorite. Like sometimes I really like Saul, but it just depends on my mood. I think that album really encapsulates my moods. Those are my different moods, you know. But 15 Minutes is definitely one of my favorites.
Is that when you're in party mode and you're like,
Nah, it's like a chill mode. Like
Uh-huh.
it's nice chill, you know,
Yeah.
bounce, right?
Yeah.
Saul Bande and Neo Jonde there. Yo, I drove this guy up the wall for Neo Jonde. He remembers. But yo, it was so
Yo, we went from
we changed the beat completely from what it
fuck,
was.
a billion times. No, not even once. It was like, all right, cool. Let's preserve this and let's add this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take this out now and add this, and let's get this producer on, and let's make this happen, and let's change this part here. Let's add this. Now, I swear to God, halfway into this episode, I'm like, yo, what did Neo John they sound like originally?
I
don't even know.
remember it like it was really bad. Like not bad, but like the production wasn't that good. But JJ like yo, he like took it, and I just kept on. I was like, turn up the bass, turn up the bass.
Actually, I swear to God,
I was like, turn up the bass.
I will give this credit right now where it's due. I think I'm pretty big when it comes to the mixing mastering industry. A lot of my mixing mastering credit goes to Fateh.
wow.
Because on that
The
album,
bass kicks,
bass and kicks.
Yeah.
Because on that album, that's where he was like, yo, I understand you're doing this to what makes sense. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I want it to be loud.
Like
I'm like,
I'm
okay,
yo,
cool.
it has
Fuck
to
it.
kick.
Threw it out the window.
Because you gotta look at DJ, like people like DJ M or like myself. Like when we're listening to in a car to Detroit, you want it to pound, bro. You want it, and if you have
You want to
stocks,
feel the
I
music.
think I
yeah.
even messaged JJ when I finished this. I'm like, yo, JJ, you killed the mixing on this.
yeah,
Like it was next level.
yeah. Like when you have stock, yo, remember that night? Me and JJ stayed up till probably 6 a.m. mixing that out. Like, well, we already mixed it. Then we're doing the final tweaks. We would tweak it in the studio. Drive to the parking lot by his house, sit in the car
At the
listen to
school down the
album.
street?
No,
Yeah.
Walmart parking
Oh,
lot.
okay.
Hell
Get
yeah.
A&W.
Hell yeah.
Listen to the album. Eyes like red, bloodshot. We don't even want to talk to each other because we hate each other. All right, we're gonna change this, and this. Go back. We did that all night, bro, till like 6 a.m. We
serious.
started probably at like 6
Epic.
p.m.
That's
But-
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm on legit honesty. This guy can fucking mix.
Yeah.
Like if
I
you
tried.
give him a song, this motherfucker can mix.
Is there anything
If he was
that
a mixing
you've
master
produced,
engineer,
mixed and
he'd
mastered
be crazy.
yourself?
I
So-
mixed Saul Bande,
Oh, okay.
and I mixed.
he mixed
most-
everything, man.
Yeah?
I mixed.
He
most
mixed
of
the
new
entire album.
No,
he
no,
comes
the
to me
new
for like
album.
the little like,
Yeah.
yo, can you just do this? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I got
Tariq-
you.
Tariq guy mixed.
Uh-huh.
He just kind of spiced it up.
Yeah.
The new album, everything except for the first song, which he produced, and Late Nights, I mixed.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
So
Nice.
holla at Fateh if you guys need mixing and
100%.
mastering.
No, please don't.
I take a
I
cut.
hate it. No.
I just take a
How,
cut.
how
Don't worry
about
about
how
it.
about Chuck?
Fateh, I have a
You
few
were in that
tracks I'm
video
gonna
quite a
send you.
bit.
Yeah, well,
Chuck is a
I'm one of
sick
the
track.
3 producers on that song.
Yeah.
So it was you. The
Prophylactic.
Pam was. What is
Pam was the original. Pam
what does
was
Pam
like
stand for? PAM. Like, is that just?
no
I
clue.
think his real name is. I'm not gonna mess it up.
Minden?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
but
it's
Pam
called
brought
Pam.
the original beat where the song was made.
Yeah. So he had the
Then we
chorus.
felt, and like the beat was fire, but we just felt like at that time, it could be like he had the song for so long that the song could be more up to date.
Mm-hmm.
So we started doing that. Then we loved like this whole like
EDM.
EDM phase that was happening. Then we're like, yo, who's the best at it? Fuck, let's get Mophylactic.
Mophylactic.
Got Mophylactic on it. He did the ending part.
He's
ripped
from. Is
it.
he from Toronto?
Australia?
Australia. Okay.
Yo,
Yeah.
you know what's crazy? I don't know if Pav wants to that, but Pav shot his parts, Mophylactic's parts.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Okay.
Pav shot that, which is
Uh-huh.
crazy.
Wow.
Before we even knew who, like, well, we knew who kind of Pav
Yeah,
was,
but
not
Pav
really,
bigs
yeah.
up Mophylactic like
Yeah,
no
yeah, they're
tomorrow.
homies.
He
They're
says,
homies.
he goes, if there's one guy in the industry who gets the least amount of credit
Yeah, it's
and is one of
Mophylactic.
the most talented
So
people,
fun fact.
Mophylactic.
Fun fact. Mophylactic originally produced Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know
Yeah,
that.
we know that.
Oh, sorry. And then Zora re-sang it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And then didn't Dr. Zeus jump on it?
Yeah.
We don't
But-
know. I don't know this man.
Yeah, he
like,
did.
yeah.
But do you know, like, if you think about it, everyone thinks that Zeus
And I
had the
thought you
original.
were on that too. No,
I wasn't on
you were on
Huh.
Huh?
Everyone thinks Zeus had the original.
Yeah,
Gideon
yeah.
Toki. Nah, it was fucking Mophylactic.
Oh,
He's the
was
one who
it?
brought that into the industry.
Okay.
Han was all
And now
Fuck, give me a minute.
everybody's using
Zeus
it.
is the reason I'm here. So I'm gonna always say that Zeus is number one.
Nah, but
Number
you can
one.
always have some facts, you know? It's
Hey,
always fun
yeah.
facts.
For sure, for sure.
So-
So Chuckmay was produced by 3 people.
Mhm.
It had 3 artists on there, I guess. So me, Pam, and Mofalactic, who also produced it. So I guess, these guys produced. Like, Pam gave us a beat. JJ spiced it up. Mofalactic took that ending and went ham with it.
Yeah.
And Pam did that chorus. I didn't even know what Chuckmay meant at that time, but it was dope. And then we ripped it. Suere yo te que me veri alipaca.
That's the best line.
Ooh. Fire.
Yeah, man.
What
Fire.
is after you put a piece of work out like that, which was absolutely amazing, like we said, you had a great time making it. It kind of told your different moods and your story. What do you experience after dropping an album like this? Who's contacting you? What type of fans are you gaining? Anything different from the mixtape vibe or the Zeus vibe?
Okay, so let me give you a backstory.
Mhm.
So precursors to Bring It Home, I was working on it for 3 to 3.5 years probably. So now you're Fateh, right? This is what I was gonna talk about after.
Fuck,
So-
I don't have the Rolex, but okay,
no,
I'm Fateh.
not you're Fateh,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
saying it's like you've done all these features, these Punjabi features, right? Everybody's wondering what my album would sound like. Most people expected it to
Me
sound
included,
like
yeah, absolutely.
like most people expected it to sound like, even myself, Punjabi songs, I'm just rapping on those or whatever it is, right?
100%, yeah.
And that would have been the safe route to go to because that had already worked.
Mhm.
But I was like, okay, cool. Now then I made these songs, and dude, I did not know. Like, I never would have thought if I was releasing that he would have been like, yo, I like this album.
I was shocked at that as
No,
well.
no, not
He-
him. Just
yeah.
in general, just
Yeah.
anybody. Because I was like, yo, if you look at that, like that type of music, I can't draw a parallel like to anybody else who's.
No.
Not- not-
Can
not
you say
saying-
anybody else has made a piece of work like that you've heard?
So going
No.
back to what I was
No.
saying before,
Mm-hmm.
who do I look at to make what is my example to be like, I gotta do an album like that
Mhm.
when I'm a Punjabi rapper who's raps in Punjabi and English and sings and raps and stuff like that. So literally that was kind of just me throwing it out there and hoping it worked.
Yeah.
Because even JJ didn't know it was gonna work. We didn't know, nobody, like we're just like, all right, we're doing it. I showed Neo John to Zeus. Zeus like, I don't know, it's kind of dark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God, I forgot
That's
about
got to
that.
be scary.
It was
Somebody
scary,
that you look up
like
to.
somebody I
Yeah.
was looking up to, and like he knows what he knows.
Yeah.
But
So-
he loved Chuckmay.
He loved Chuckmay.
He
Chuckmay.
loved
Sick.
Chuckmay.
He loved
'cause
15
Jackman
minutes.
puts a smile.
He
on
He
my
loved the
face,
album.
man.
He loves the album, and now Neo John, this is his favorite. But at that time, when I had
Yeah.
showed him, like again, cause there wasn't nothing like this, cause you didn't have somebody be like, well, this has already worked, so I'm kind of doing something like that. You're literally doing something that hasn't been out there yet.
Mhm.
So even a song like 15 Minutes or Tariqa or something like that, and then on top of that, me being a rapper, I don't know. It was very hard to kind of like put it out there. I was so shook, man.
And how do you choose the collabs? Because you chose very specifically Amar Sandhu. You went with Prophecy. You went with Pam and JJ and these guys. Was that calculated, or those tracks just worked for the album as a collective?
I don't think it was calculated. It was just something like, these are the people. Yeah, like these are the people I was messing with.
No, you had networked with a lot more
Yeah,
people than that as
yeah,
well. Like you
yeah.
were fucking with Mickey. You were fucking with a
Mickey's
whole
on the
bunch.
album.
Oh, he's on the album.
Yeah, he's
okay.
on the last song. Yeah, I think he's on the album, which was amazing. Yeah, I think it was just organic of like people I had real relationships with, right? Like I had met Pam when we went to India before Pam had put out a song. He did. I think he had put out Karam. Maybe he had. Put
Yeah,
out
He
that
had
track
that
that blew
World
up.
Star
That
hip
one that
hop
blew
track.
up.
yeah,
That was big.
So I met him, and like we tried like all these different things, and these songs worked. And like 15 Minutes was one of the last ones we did.
Was the last one we did, I think.
I think so. Like the last one I recorded. And it just,
Anything
like,
that
went
got cut that you wish you had left on, or
No, I actually went through the cut folders. It was trash. Yeah, I'm glad I did that.
Yeah, there were songs that got cut.
Nothing that was like, I wish I left on, like you just said. Yeah. But after, that was your initial question. Once we released it, I'm shook as hell. Like, what the hell? I'm just dropping this album. Like, again, it's a sound that no one's heard of. When you do something different, people usually like, yo, what the hell is this?
Mhm.
I got a lot of love. Like, my Twitter went ham. Like, I never expected that.
Mhm.
For like 3 days straight, people were just showing me a lot. Even people that I recognize their accounts, like these guys always talk shit.
Yeah.
They'd be like, yo, it's not my type of music, but I can appreciate the effort that went into this album.
that's dope. Yeah.
So it's like,
That's them really sucking that up to write that.
yeah.
You know they
Yeah.
deleted and wrote it like 6 times
Yeah.
to make it sound.
It was
correct,
everywhere
yeah.
on social media.
yeah,
for a
it was
good, like,
crazy.
2-3
Yo, I
weeks.
didn't, and yo, okay, and another thing that was so hard for me was putting it out independent. Me and this guy had that conversation all day. People were scaring me like crazy, fear mongering going down.
Yeah.
Yo, sell your album to a label or no one's gonna hear it. Everybody was saying that to me. Yo, sell it. I'm like, yo, my album is not worth $10,000.
I think I said the same thing.
Was there offers on the table?
Nah.
Oh.
Not really. Because again, like
You didn't really shop it either.
What
though.
does a T series know about? Like, no, just a T series, but what does a Punjabi
Yeah.
or Delhi? Or
They would
thing-
probably be like, yeah, we'll take your album. They're expecting like Punjabi singers with him rapping
Yeah.
on it, and all
Like,
of a sudden
even if
there's
they
no
had
They
lyrics.
taken
remixed the
it-
whole album with a whole bunch of Punjabi singers and put it back out.
even if they had taken it, they wouldn't have known what to do with it. It wouldn't have worked for their audience, and it probably would have been like a lose-lose situation for both. Because they would have owned the masters, they would have took all the rights, all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't have owned it. I wouldn't have had control of it, and then I would have got some shitty paycheck, and that would have been it, right? So I was like, okay, I took matters into my own hands. It was scary. I had to pay for all the videos out of pocket, which was scary.
Yeah.
All that stuff, but I was like, yo,
A lot of money, by the way, for people. Even if you're Fateh, you still have to pay for stuff. It's not like everything's for free. You get some help here and there, but you got to pay for. Even if the guys are shooting the video for you or your friends shooting, you still got to pay for all the stuff on scene, the girl, this, that, makeup, whatever. So it's not cheap.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. And to do like 15 minutes, to do Fame, to do Chuckman, to do all of like it got Neo Jande.
Yeah.
And these are things that I had to do because I was like, yo, this is a social media age. We have to do it.
Can we throw a number out for the aspiring artist? Like what you probably spent out of pocket for this project to come out? Can we say it's upwards of 20 grand, lower than 20 grand?
Something like
Somewhere
that.
around there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So that's for everybody who thinks that, it's just putting, I mean, you could just put your work out there, but you see what happened with something that was, the effort was put in,
But it's even scarier when you don't know if you're even going to recoup a dollar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when everybody's like, yo, go with the label. No one's going to hear your shit.
When Zeus gives you that, I don't know, I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna work.
But there's
Yeah.
different levels to it, though. You got to look at it from like different perspectives. Like, there's so many levels. There's a label, and you got to give it to the labels too. So there's
Yeah.
labels, there's artists, there's producers, there's writers. That's pretty much it. That's like the whole rundown of the song. So when you have labels, they're looking for content. They need the content.
Yeah.
What they're gonna do with the content is up to them.
Mhm.
As soon as they get the content, they're gonna put it out. They don't care to make money off the content. Obviously, they want to, but they need content to fill their quota. As an artist, you're gonna invest the most amount of money into your product, but if that product takes off, you doing shows, you have the biggest return out of anybody else.
Yep.
As a producer, I don't see any light of day.
Nothing.
I need to make money off of the artist so that I can sit back. Because if that artist fails, I made money.
At least you,
If
for
the
your
artist
time and effort.
succeeds,
Yeah.
I make a little bit of money. Writer's in the same boat as a producer. So everyone has their different forms of making money and how they see it. Is for the artist, obviously, you're the forefront. It's the scariest. It's not the easiest fucking boat to be in. But if it succeeds and if you know what you're doing is right,
You reap the benefits.
you reap you reap insane benefits.
Yeah.
So have faith in the product that you're putting out.
Are you reaping good benefits from it? Do you get royalties from it, returns?
Yeah, like
Or is it all show money that you recoup?
it's like show stuff, but I'm just happy that it went the way it went.
100%.
I had control of my product. I own my product. If tomorrow Bollywood wants to do a
That's
video,
the risk.
Yeah.
Owning your product, putting your product yourself.
yeah. So, well, how's it a risk?
Because like me saying, yo, put it out with speed.
Yeah,
Speed gets the money.
Fucking 300 million views.
yeah. You're essentially going to them for marketing, right?
Yeah.
It's like
So we did guarilla marketing.
Guerrilla
Kinda
And
Kinda
that's
like-
the hard
yeah,
part because
that
you
is
don't know
hard
where
part.
it's going to go.
What did you do to market it?
Overtime.
Bro, I literally put out the album. That's it.
That's it. Just
That's
through
it.
your social media.
Off of my social media, my friends, my extended family, whatever, they just posted it. Didn't know what it was gonna do.
Big
I'm not
support
gonna
circle
lie.
too, man. Everyone
Yeah,
in the
big
GTA.
support. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It took a yearish for like my shows to start knowing the songs. Now, like I can go perform 15 minutes, Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows the song. It took a yearish. Like that, maybe the label would have maybe sped up that
Sped- yeah.
process. But yeah, like I'm happy the way it went, and
Yeah.
like it was very scary putting out that album.
Probably feels 10 times more rewarding this way than any other
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
right?
like just the fact that I own my product, man.
Right,
And,
like
yeah,
I mean,
that's it.
20, 30 years down the road, you can say that's yours. You know, if you start gaining good royalties off it, that's something you pass down as well. It's like what Khaled did with his kid. You know, he put his name on a couple tracks on his album. He's gonna be a millionaire for life now.
Yeah,
you know?
it's intellectual property.
hmm
We have to look at it like that. Yeah.
So Bring It Home happens. You see success from it. You made the decisions that you made. You're happy with it. You're touring now. You're traveling. You're living out of a suitcase. We ran into you in a couple cities. We were in BC with you a while back after the album dropped. You're all over the place. How does it feel traveling like that? And you're kind of on other people's time still. So like you know you show up to Vancouver, you show up to California, you show up wherever. Somebody's booked you. They got to pick you up from the airport or get you to where you're going. You're in a hotel. You got to perform. What's that life like? Is it what you expected? Does it get better as you get more fame? Because you can kind of say, I want a rider. I want this. I want that.
Oh, well, I got a rider.
You got a rider. What's up with this rider? Can we break that down?
That's not that great. It's like fruit, Chips Ahoy, Fiji water, Smart
If I
Water.
come,
Fiji
it changes.
water, shit.
If I come, it changes.
Yeah, we got you. Fiji water, Smart Water only.
Yeah.
Any
Any candies? A lot of people got those specific
No,
candies.
because when you do mitai, it tightens up your voice.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
so you don't do that. So just like fruits, a little bit of cookies. And sometimes I have chips. That's it. Just make sure this Fiji water and the Smart Water is on.
That's
As a,
gotta be
as a
on
bottle
point.
for JJ.
Don't get us that Nestle and that other
Yeah.
shit. We don't
Yeah.
want that, right?
That's
Oh,
it,
what did we
man.
get? Well, fuck, we didn't even bring you proper water. We got the
you
desi
got
jug out here.
the gallon fucking.
Yeah. this is family though. Don't worry, JJ
This is
bought it.
family.
So
No, that's
You know the other part, like I'm thinking about performing wise. You were saying before you like performing in front of like large crowds.
Yeah.
When I've been with you, I feel like we've been part of like intimate crowds.
Mhm.
And I personally, I've never been with you for like the large,
Yeah, you have
crowds.
Indiana. How
Indiana.
crazy was
It
Indiana?
was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
what happened in
But I-
Indiana?
It was lit. It was so.
But I
lit.
still
Yeah.
love the small crowds too because I feel like the small crowds actually, like they came out just to hear Fateh.
Every
They know
single-
Fateh's every like I can just cut a song randomly
Yeah, yeah.
and everyone's singing it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You
dude.
know what I mean?
What-
Like I
what are small
love that.
crowds to you?
Like when we did Cine, like that was small.
How about the art
No,
gallery
like
that you guys
500
did?
people. Are you saying is a small crowd?
Nah, man, I'm talking like 100-ish.
Oh, okay.
100,
Okay.
200 people.
Yeah.
Because you guys did that art gallery, the opening for I think it was it Inquisitive when he was down here or somebody when Zoo Babies you guys performed.
No,
That
I'm
was
talking about like personal.
Oh,
yeah,
just
you're
you
just talking about
yourself.
me, like yeah.
Okay.
Like,
But
when
dude,
me
sometimes
and
I
him
see
done
your
some
snaps
shows.
and people are going
Like
crazy.
I'm talking like,
yeah.
we
you
did
can't even-
CNE. CNE was like max 100-ish.
No, it was like 200.
Okay, whatever, 200 people?
Yeah, yeah.
But it was a very like 200 solid crew members.
that was
everybody
this
was
year,
there was
CNE,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, everybody that was there for the music.
Yeah.
there was-
And I
was
love
there for
that.
me,
Like
yeah.
that to me is like die hard.
Yeah.
Whereas when you do the bigger shows,
Yeah,
the bigger songs work, which are the songs that maybe aren't Fateh.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I think Alabama was like that too. You weren't
I
there,
went
but it was like
there,
200-300 people.
Mhm.
And it was a tight venue.
I love that.
But yo, like literally, is my first time ever experiencing people know the full song.
That's crazy.
That's
word
sick.
for word. Like usually 15 minutes before that time, I'd perform the chorus, my verse, chorus, cut it. Perform the whole song. Same with Fame. First verse, cut it. Perform the whole song. I did it again. It was just crazy how much. And like yeah, I had that experience like in Jersey. I remember when I went to Cali a couple times, there were some shows there. It's just crazy. So
You do
yeah.
that off a vibe, like when you're performing a song, you see how people react, and you're like, I'm gonna do this one again because people really liked it, or how does that work?
Well, that only happened at one time where I was like, I didn't want to get off stage, and their energy was so lit. I was like, we're here.
Yeah.
I was like, as long as you guys keep giving me, like, I know I'm only contracted to perform like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, but I'm here, man. I'm here to, as you guys are, I'm having fun. You guys are having fun. Let's just keep going.
Yeah, but this guy, he changes. You change shit on the fly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I changed
like-
up on the
Yeah,
While
like
we're-
you're
cut songs
comfortable
real
enough
fast.
While
to like
we're
go
in a
up to
performance,
JJ
you'll
and
be like,
cut
yo,
that, put this.
I
on.
won't go up to Jay. Jay, cut the song. Cut the song.
Yeah, he'll just be like, I'm like,
How is that for you as a DJ? Like dealing with that? That's pressure
oh,
because
it's easy. Like,
Yeah. Well, you're a pro. You've
he
been
makes
doing
it
it for
easy
so
when he
long,
goes,
cut. Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, there's only one thing I could do.
and then
But
you
like-
know what's next.
No, Sometimes he just talks about something, and I'm like,
No, I have a list. I give you a list.
I know, but then you skip songs.
Yeah. You have a list.
If I start talking about this, please skip it. But I like that.
And you just pick up on the vibe. So that I
But
mean,
he
you gotta
picks up
be
on the vibe.
You gotta be cool with
He
your DJ.
picks up on the vibe.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I read the crowd.
That's his vibe.
I read the crowd because like our crowds are different. Because sometimes we're performing at like events where there's 5 other artists, right? So maybe not everybody might not know the most niche song. So that we have to vibe off the crowd. There's some stuff when you could just do the whole album, bring it home back to back.
Alabama.
So
I wanna go there with you.
Alabama happens.
I'm going to Atlanta soon, huh?
Bring you just were in Atlanta after California. You went as well, right?
Yeah.
That was your first time.
Atlanta,
you said
I was
you
just chilling.
Oh,
but
okay,
Alabama
okay.
was the show. Yeah, I love Atlanta. I belong there.
So
ATL, shawty.
So Bring It Home happens. The success is there. You feel comfortable now. You put out the project. Everybody received it really well. Now you decide to put out this project this year, 2018, to whom it may concern. Who does this concern? I gotta know. Like, who is this person that has broken your heart, stepped on it, fucking threw it in the
Are
garbage?
we gonna get a name?
No.
I mean, you were really clever with the promo on it, the picture, and you see the shadow of the girl. I was trying to zoom in, like, who the fuck is that?
It's not
You know,
obviously
like-
it's not her.
Yeah.
Hey, I wrote an album about you. Can you? I'm taking album cover pictures. Can you come through and just take these pictures real quick? It would be
Those of you who haven't heard this album, you gotta go hear it to whom it may concern. But this is basically, it's a story, and you set up the album really well. It basically tells a story from beginning to end.
concept album. Yeah.
Concept album. Did you speak to this lovely lady before you dropped this album? Told her any kind of like, I'm about to do this?
No,
Nothing. It's
we
just
not on speaking terms.
okay. It's like that.
We don't talk.
You know who I thought it was? I'm just gonna. You could say yay or nay, but the girl in Pandra Minta, 15 minutes, the video. She's in Chakme as well. Is that the girl?
Chakme as well.
She's the same girl that's in 15
Body's
minutes.
just theorizing
No?
right now.
Oh, okay.
No.
That's
I saw this familiar face in 2 videos, so I thought maybe.
Nah.
really,
No,
no.
Chakme was shot in Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was no.
So,
much as you
right,
impressed
I'm gonna keep guessing. If anybody has any
It's no one.
guesses,
It's no one you've seen on anything of mine.
because you've been pretty private about
Oh
your.
yeah, you gotta
know?
keep a private life private, fam.
Holy moly,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why they call it private life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
So you do tell a story throughout the whole album. Did it help you kind of heal off of that album? Like you needed to get those thoughts out, obviously.
Yeah, man. Like heal. Yeah, it was very therapeutic because, like, man, like when you go through something that was like as traumatic as that, which was very traumatic.
Yeah.
You can ball it up. Some people like to indulge in other things,
Ball it up. Ball what up?
like ball up your emotions.
Oh, they gotta ball something else up.
Or like that. Yeah, and which is cool. But for me, I was like, man, like I need to get this out. This is really bothering me.
Sorry, I
right?
gotta pour a drink for this.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we about to get on that
Yeah.
emo tip right
Pour
now.
it. Not emo tip. Yeah, man. And what ended up happening was I didn't sit there and be like, JJ Mana album bananiya, mera dil tutta main album bananiya, right? It wasn't like that. I was working on.
I would have brought that Claire cunt out of you.
I was just thinking the same thing, yo. But more about his vibes.
Kariya de kure.
That's Chumkila.
Yeah, man, that's a fire right there. The old Lember sad songs too.
Can I get that off-brand water while you're there?
That's right here.
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
So,
So bring
yeah.
it home.
To whom it may concern, I wasn't setting to make an album. I was working on, after bringing it home, I was working on a bunch of things. Like today I checked, I have so much stuff done.
Yeah.
Then came a point after my breakup and after all that stuff happened. I was good. I was chilling. We did Gang Gang. We shot the video.
I was gonna say, I thought
Yeah.
Gang Gang was the album. I don't know if other people
Yo,
thought
my
that.
album was going towards Gang Gang vibe. It's
Because
there.
you dropped that, and it's like the whole
It's in
Gang
my
Gang
laptop.
vibe. I was like, okay, this is the album. This is about
It's
to be
in my
dope.
laptop. Yeah, it's in my laptop. It's all there. All that music's there. That coincides with Gang Gang and all that, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And I still haven't got my sweater, by the way. But you go on.
Bon
sorry.
juga,
Yeah.
koin kaka. Mob ties. So yeah, so we had done, I was doing Gang Gang and all these other songs, and then comes like January. It's like November, December, January, February, March. That time, you know, that time of the year out here in the East Coast is kind of like it's dark,
Hibernating season.
hibernating
I call
season,
it hibernating season.
cuffing
yeah.
season. A lot
Yeah.
of people's with their girlfriends.
Yeah.
Um,
Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill. Lonely Time for
Yeah.
Fateh at that time. Yeah, Lonely Time. Yeah.
It was cold, literally.
Yeah, like it being a long-term relationship, lonely time. You know, everything kind of came crashing and burning.
How long was the relationship?
It was a few years.
Okay.
Few years, yeah. And lonely time. So now we're here, and then I find myself like really sad at certain times. So my release was either two things: call her,
Mm-hmm.
which is a no-no,
Yeah.
or release this energy into music.
Yeah.
I think
you know everybody listening. You do that when you're in that lonely season. You dial a number, you pull it up, but you don't dial it. You know you shouldn't dial it.
I mean,
It's-
most people do.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I probably would have if
No,
I didn't have
they'll start
music to go
6-7
through.
and they'll just listen.
Yo, I mean, that's some weirdo shit.
That is a
Maliwan Sornizi.
creepy Terry. Creepy
Terry,
fucking
yeah.
Terry, man.
We know what he was doing in high school. Yeah.
High school, I was the man. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no. So yeah, man, I pretty much found myself like just using music as a therapy. So I think one of the first songs I recorded was "Alone," which you liked,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like the first song which I was like really like accepted that yo, this is like I'm sad a little bit.
Yeah.
And then anytime I felt like that, I was like going straight up and
That
just
was the
recording.
spark for the album, though.
Yeah,
Alone.
because I was like, yo, like I can't make no hype shit right now. I can't make anything. Like I wasn't even doing too much Zeus stuff at that time. Like I wasn't in the mindset to do that. So whatever that was coming naturally was that.
Mhm.
And then we had like I had finished like 6 songs. Again, I wasn't making an album. Then I looked at it and I'm like, okay, I can put this all together. Like, you know, with the gang stuff and that and this To Whom It May Concern
Yeah.
stuff and kind of I was like, that sounds so weird. Like
Doesn't make
imagine like
sense, yeah.
a gang type song next to Over Me or Alone. Like, it just doesn't.
No.
So I was like, yo, I've never done a concept album. I love Kendrick Lamar. I've come up on hip hop. I've always wanted to do a concept album. I was like, this is a perfect opportunity for me to do a concept album.
Yeah.
So the term,
Sorry.
how unprofessional of you.
My wife just heard me talking about.
You star 6'7". Who?
Sorry.
Man, knew that. Yeah, right. You want to handle that?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
No, go ahead. Handle
No,
that.
no, I'm good.
No, we're not doing anything. Just talk.
We weren't having a serious
opening up
conversation
about
or
my
Oh,
personal
man.
life.
I need the Gatorade, pal. Man. I'm good. So yeah, you got 6 albums. You got
6
Gang
songs,
Gang.
6 songs.
6 songs.
So
I'm
no,
sorry.
so okay, I had songs like Gang Gang
Mhm.
that I still have, and then I had these 6 songs that were on this album. I was like, okay, let me just do this conceptual album, and then he had done the It Don't Feel Right. No, I was actually still with.
that was it. Okay.
I was still with her when we did that song.
Simmer.
No, with my ex.
Oh, okay.
So like that was just there, and I was like, okay, this fits perfect because I was feeling like that when I was with her. That it don't feel right no more.
Oh.
And then he took that song and flipped it. It was facts only. She
Yeah.
didn't hear it at that time.
Yeah.
But I was feeling like that, and
Uh-huh.
when I did that song, and then he flipped it, so that was there. So naturally, that had to go first,
Yeah.
because that's and then the progression.
What was the
of
decision
album.
with putting Simmer on? Was that you or you? Simmer
I think
Music.
it was
Shout
me.
out to her.
It was with me.
Yeah, he brought me Simmer's chorus
Yeah.
on a beat, and we heard like a part of it, and we're like, "Ooh,
She's
sounds
good, eh?
too
He
good.
remade the
She's
beat
really
in front
good,
of me
yeah.
at 3 a.m. in the studio right here.
That's
Really?
crazy.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I was wanted to cry that night because I was like, yo, this sounds so amazing. This guy,
Wow.
when JJ's on, he's on.
Yeah.
I remember.
Which is pretty
Especially
often,
like
no?
after 12.
Yeah, I'm
midnight.
always on.
We were leaving.
Post 12
Do you
o'clock.
remember? We
Yeah,
were
I
gonna
know.
go home, and then I sent him the thing. I was like, "Yo, can you just work on this just a little bit? I know you're never gonna do it after this." He's like, "All right, cool." And then he caught this vibe, and then he made the full song right then and
His
there.
ex probably texted him. He's like, let me put this energy into this track.
more.
JJ's like, what are you guys talking about?
Wait, what? Huh? I don't have any girlfriend.
And then that's it. So so it was a therapeutic way for me to release this energy.
Yeah.
Without having to do things that are destructive,
Mhm.
which is either in relationships or anything else. And it was a positive way
Yeah.
for me to express myself, and I think it was needed for our community, for somebody to be like, yo, man, like,
That's
it's okay.
100%.
Never been done
It's-
before.
it's-
100%.
It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be
That's 2
sad.
back-to-back albums have never been done before. So you're on a pattern with this.
I mean, someone who looks like me hasn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, that was a whole other thing that we didn't talk about actually. With Zeus.
Singer kaam koi rap
They wouldn't
karna
put me
nahi.
in videos.
Are you serious?
They would not. The first like few songs after Mother Muddy, they were trying to cut me out of the videos, or they did cut me out of the videos.
No way.
100%.
What
Zeus told me.
songs?
Yo, let's not get into that.
Yo,
You know
let's
what I mean?
get into
I don't
it.
remember. I don't remember actually.
If it doesn't
honestly.
affect Zeus,
Well,
let's get into
Yeah,
it.
and let's jump to B21 story before we get back into
okay,
who
yeah,
we're
yeah.
concerned.
You know
We're
what?
gonna get back
Hold
to
on,
this
hold on,
album
hold on.
as well.
You know what? I remember. I think it was like Simply Pangra or one of these sites back in the day. They reported on this. Like, oh, Fateh is doing a track with B21. This is when
Yeah,
B21
they were
was
on it.
B21 was rumored to make a comeback. Because I know like they had their own shit going on just to the left. They got into some shit they shouldn't have got into and all that kind of stuff happened.
Yeah.
And it was rumored B21's making a comeback album. And then I remember it was rumored B21's working with Fateh. And I was like, holy shit. And then I remember like fucking nothing happened for 10 years.
Yeah, man.
So Fateh elaborate a little bit more on that.
Okay. B21 or the video stuff? Okay, the video
What's-
stuff is easy.
Yeah, that's
it.
easy.
I got blackballed.
They're
They're
fucking
like,
assholes.
We
They're
don't want to.
assholes.
We don't want to
Yeah.
sing in the video. Like
Uh-huh.
that was essentially what it was. They're like,
In
yo,
Punjab.
In Punjabi
in
music.
Punjab.
Punjabi music.
yo, take that in, bro. Like
Wow.
being Punjabi, and I've talked about this in other interviews too. Like being Punjabi, being sick, can be like, yo, this is what we look like. This is what we're supposed to look like, at least I
Yeah.
think, right? And just being like, yo, like no, it's true religious, a cool Jenny lagda, blah blah. That was the thing. And then when things popped, like with Inch and everything, then they're like, we need him in the video. No, I don't want to be in the video.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys
No,
now.
obviously, if it was Zeus's team, like it was our squad, like
Then
yeah,
you're-
then 100%. But I'm talking about like when we were working with bigger artists, they're like, yeah, we don't want him in the video. You know what I mean? Zeus, you're good.
Yeah.
We don't want him in the video. And Zeus told me that after, well after he told me that.
Do you hold a grudge because of that?
No,
Uh-huh.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Yo, the first to market.
A lot of
first to
dirt
do
off
it.
your shoulder for you, man. Like that, you deal with that very easily. Because I'd be pissed. I'd be like, "Fuck these guys. I'm on
I
now."
was pissed at the time because I was like, wow, we've worked so hard to be in this position and to work with like such big artists, and now I don't even get the recognition. Like,
Yeah.
and just like they weren't putting my name on the title at that time either.
It's just your
No,
voice in the
yeah,
track.
it's just a voice. Like Lovely, I can understand. They did that in Mumbai. They did all that. Like I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
Yeah.
like Punjabi stuff. But yeah, B21,
B21, yes. Back to B21.
1 to B.
1 2 B.
That was in my verse, and I think they named the album after that. No, okay, they
Oh,
hit
was
me
it?
up.
What?
Yeah,
No
yeah.
way.
the album. So B21, for those of you that don't know Pangra fact of the day, B21 is the postcode of the
Birmingham.
neighborhood they live in, Handsworth, Birmingham.
I did not know that.
So that's what B21 stands for. And then 1 to B is just basically B21 backwards.
Yeah.
So the album came out, I think, in 2012 or 13. I was in Mexico when it came
Sheesh.
out.
Yeah, wow. That's a
And
long
I
time.
remember I went to the bar, I bought the album on iTunes, and I poured a drink. And I'm
Jeez,
like, all right, let's
that's a
listen
waste
to
of
every
money.
track.
What?
Wow.
Yeah,
waste.
I'm a huge B21
Well, you
fan.
being at
It's a
the
waste
bar
of
didn't
money.
surprise me, but listening to
I'm joking. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be negative. Sorry. So 2009, I think somebody from they're totally or
Camp.
something. No, totally. Is
Oh,
that who that is? No, I don't
I'm
know.
saying
Some-
they're camp.
Some dude who
Somebody.
started talking down to me later on in life. I even forgot. He hit me up. He was like, "Yo, we need you on this record." So they sent me that beat, which is some other beat, which is like a hip hop beat.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yo, taking how cheeky this is, fam." They didn't send me the song. They didn't, and I'm not hating. This is just facts only.
Yeah.
They didn't send me the song. They're like, the concept is they sent me like a voice note or something, or like they showed me on the phone that this is the chorus, right? I don't know what it was. They're like, all right, here's the instrumental. We can't send you the song. We don't trust you with it. So just write 3 verses to this. I'm like, all right, cool. This is in 2009. No problem. Sold me this dream, yo. When this comes out, we're the biggest shit, bruv. We're gonna kill it, bruv. And I was alright, wicked, bro. Like I'm down, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm just thankful to be here. Again, I know this sounds salty. I'm not trying to be salty. I love those guys for.
No, you know
for
what?
even
This
hitting me
whole
up.
episode, you haven't really talked down about anybody. So if this hits home,
I'm not. I
then-
don't want to talk down. 'cause
No, it's not
we
really
bigger
talked
than
down,
that,
but
yeah.
those are feelings, and that's what this podcast is about. Is just
Yeah.
speaking how you really feel, and that's okay, man. If you're upset about something,
I'm not upset because I'm doing amazing right now.
Okay,
Hey.
so-
I'm not upset,
Yeah.
right? You know.
Hey.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm only a
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean to say upset, but in the sense that like
Yeah.
almost feeling disrespected.
It was disrespectful
Uh-huh.
because as a kid I was like very like, oh my god, this is amazing. And that's why when the Zeus stuff happened, I didn't believe it because they hit me up in 2010 and he said it came out in 2013. Which is fine, man. Like I'm not mad about that. Like it took 3 years to do it. It took me
Yeah.
3 years to finish my album too, so it's okay. I think what happened was just like the mistrust was kind of weird. Definitely didn't get paid, which was okay again. I think where
No name.
yeah, so where it started being weird was like I remember I did a song because I was still working, right? Like I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna start grinding now because you said you're gonna do a song potentially that's gonna come out that I haven't heard, that you won't send to me. I don't know what it sounds like. Here's my verses. I haven't heard from you guys, right? This is before WhatsApp. I can't just hit them up like, where you guys at, right? This is a UK number. I don't know what the hell UK is. So 2008, 2009. So I'm grinding still, and then I remember one time I got a call. It was like very rude. It was like, yo, why are you working with such and such? And it was like my cousin or something. I had done a song with Niku. And I had done a song like, why are you working with such and such? It's trash. It's da-da-da-da. I'm like, bro, I don't know what you're trying to get at, right? Like, nah, if you're going to work under the B21 brand, you can't be working with people like that.
This
I'm
was
like,
the guy
what?
who originally called
Who called this? Butta called you? Bali called you?
Bro, I'm
or-
a B1000.
He's about to call somebody up right now.
I'ma
and be
be
like,
one-
Yeah, I want to know who
I don't
it
think
is.
it was Butta Badly. I don't, because I met Butta after that and he was really cool. Or I think Butta, one of them. I went to her house. It was really cool. But I think it was the Toli.
Mhm.
You gotta
Who's
find
that?
this fucking toll player.
I don't know, man. He was just really rude. He may have been drunk, but like as a young guy, I was like 21, 22. Like I took.
He
it to
told you
heart.
not to talk to Niku?
No, he was just like, yo, I don't care who it is. You can't be working with people like that. And he's like, until this song comes out, we can't, or we're gonna take you off, or some shit. Like you like threatening to take me off the
Yeah,
song after like I had re-recorded like 50 times. Like they kept making me re-record the song, kept making me change like small things. Like you think I'm nitty? Like oh that was like change this word. Oh talk about us, talk about this, talk about, and it was just like, okay man, like let me
Yeah.
hear the song please. Didn't even hear the song, right? So then I was like, yo, like I'm not assigned to you. You can't really tell me what to do. And I felt ways about that. So that was like really disrespectful.
Yeah.
And then song still hadn't come out. I think I was already working with Zeus at this point. And then they released the song. And then they did the video and did Na Na Nashan about Fateh being on the song. I don't think it was on the album cover.
It's on the name
It's
of
on
the
the
song.
thing. Yeah, so it was something like that, but I don't know. And like they didn't call me for the video.
Yeah.
That was the big sell when they first told me 4 years before. We're gonna fly you out to the video, bro. We're gonna shoot you into that. And I
Yeah,
know
the
I
whole
sound
thing,
so
right?
I sound so
Yeah.
salty, but I'm actually not because I can get
No,
one shit
I mean,
less. But yeah, like it was just like yo,
Yeah.
it was
Facts.
this big sell.
Facts.
Yeah.
It was a big sell, and it was like it got my hopes up.
At the end of the day,
You know why?
album was
You know
flat.
why it's so important for you to speak on this is because a lot of people want to tell their success story. How great it was when Zeus called me. How great it was when I did this. But nobody wants to talk about when this person fucked
Not
me up. or
nobody
this
wants to talk about. Nobody talks about it.
Nobody, and they
Yeah.
think because they
Nobody
think they
brings it
sound
up.
salty or think
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they're being a hater. But no, you made it. It's not like you're still in the gutter trying to get up saying this guy screwed me over. You made it, but you still remember the people who didn't treat you right along
Yeah,
the way,
100%.
and that's okay to say that. Those people shouldn't be let just kind of slid through and just be like, oh, he was great to work with, because he wasn't great to work with. You know?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't even know if I would say they screwed me over. I just think it was, it's just like, yo, like, I know sometimes when you get to a certain position, you start treating other people like they're less than. And I'm not saying anybody from that camp treated me less than, but I didn't feel valued
Yeah.
when I should have. And all it would have taken was some communication.
It's okay. That album
If you're
was-
reaching out to somebody,
yeah,
respect it.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
That's pretty much what it comes down to.
man.
When you
Yeah.
call somebody to be on a song or to do something on a song,
Yeah, man.
you're gonna respect that level.
That's all it was. It was just disrespectful. I think all in all, the rollout was very disrespectful.
Yeah.
3 years, didn't tell me about the video, didn't tell me about the song,
Yeah.
didn't do this, didn't get my PRS cut.
Yeah.
It's
So
okay.
can
It's okay. The
3
album,
verses on that.
the al-
Bruh.
Did when you spoke to them later? Did you ever bring it up or have
we
that
we
discussion?
emailed them. I had my manager / lawyer email them. They didn't respond.
Oh.
It's cool.
don't worry. The
whatever.
album was
But-
10 years too late.
I was gonna say Pangro Critic. How did you feel about the album?
I didn't like it.
You
I didn't
like
even
it?
listen to it.
Oh.
It was,
So
yeah.
I
Shout out to Jesse
I'll
Sidhu,
be
that's my
honest.
boy, bro.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest. Me as a Pangra fan, I feel like B21 was never the same after Jesse Sidhu. Jesse Sidhu was never the same after B21. If they came back together and did something, it would be dope. But that album was super flop. Otherwise, nothing really
It
much to
is
say.
I just
what
want
it
to say
is.
I wish B21 and everybody the best. No, for real, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. No, that's
it
dope,
was,
man.
Like I said, miscommunication, lots of
And it could have been outside like outliers. It could have been other people.
Hey, you know what? If
You
we
never
get,
know what
we
was
do our
going on.
UK edition, maybe if they come on,
It's
the
coming,
episode,
yeah,
we'll let them
we're
speak
gonna be
about
We're gonna be
it.
doing
Maybe
the UK
they can
edition.
clear it
Yeah,
up. We'll get the
man.
Dolly out here.
All
We'll
love to
see
them.
what he
Those guys
says.
are legends. They
Yeah.
were
We got
on
the
that
Dolly
Sunny
out.
the old track.
Bring
he
the
might
Dolly
get some
out.
erratic tendencies.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's get back to whom it may concern.
To
So
whom it may
this
concern.
girl really fucked you up. All right, so she made you literally write album about her. No, I'm
She
fucking
didn't
with
make
you.
me do anything. Yeah.
No, but okay. So obviously this situation happened in your life. You decided to speak on it. So now you're deciding track selection. How do you come up? You came up with the concept album. You decided on the first track with JJ, and you guys started off with an absolute banger. And now you're getting really deep into it. And you're talking about basically the heartbreak. Then you
Different
get
angles.
to yeah,
Like every track
like
is a
Ali
different
Pond
angle
Park.
of
I got to hear about that. Where is Ali Pond Park?
It's in New York.
It's in New
Queens.
York. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so
No,
this
let
is
me
a significant
just
place?
correct you real quick.
Okay.
So it wasn't like we started with the JJ song and then we're like, well, let's make the sad album.
Okay.
What had happened was
It wasn't sad. It was a good album.
it was-
That sounded like
it-
Fresh
it-
Prince. What had happened
what had happened
What
was
happened?
the way my bank account worked. No, see, what had happened was I happened upon the album.
Mhm.
I'm like, one song, those songs, 3 songs, 4. I'm like, oh shit, I got like 6 songs that I'm sad about. And it was a lot of it was just lived experiences that I needed to talk about.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't just go to DJ M, bro. He's gonna be like, what the hell's wrong with you, bro?
I
You, know, you can't talk about it, right? So it's like, and there's only so much things you could do, and that literally made me feel better. It, like
Yeah.
therapeutic, writing my thoughts out,
Yo,
Mhm.
and I felt
people listening to it too.
yeah,
like-
and I felt like a lot of the things that I wanted to say to her, I just got to say on the songs.
Yeah.
So that way, I didn't go back to my old habits, and I didn't do all that, and I just kind of released it in that energy, and just put it together. And then, so at one point, I'm like, yo, I have 7 songs, including the JJ song. I'm like, call Prophecy, yo, we need one. And we had the 8th. And then I was like, to whom it may concern. We literally, the turnaround for that album was like 2 months.
Really?
Mixing, mastering, putting it all together. It was like literally 2 months because, like I said, happened. January, February happened. I was in Cancun, all that stuff. All of a sudden, I'm like, yo, I have 6 songs. Like when you organize stuff, you start organizing. Like, yo, I have 6 songs that fit the same mold. Let's do the 7th and 8th, and then it was done.
And
It
you
was crazy.
you said that when you released that track, you'd never been so
Album.
scared, or album, sorry, that you had never been so scared before releasing
Never,
a piece
man.
of work.
Never, because like, think about it. Like, so my experience with that album was that I sent it to 10 people, 10, 15 people.
Mhm.
No one had heard that album. Only Raginder had heard it, and my friend Kushi had heard it. Who's a guy, Kushminder. Those 2 people are the only people who heard the album in its entirety. Everybody else, like the 6 songs, like it was too vulnerable, and I didn't care to get people's opinion. Like Bring It Home, I was sending it to everybody. Yo, here's Saul Bundy. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like.
Yeah.
Yo, JJ, Neo John, tell me what you like. I didn't listen to one opinion. You can't tell me what I'm feeling is wrong
Yeah.
and where I put it is wrong.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yo, I feel this way.
Mhm.
So I did that on my own. That's why I was like, yo, I'm mixing it. I'm doing all this stuff on my own. I'm just doing it. I sent it to 10 people. I didn't get the response I expected from those 10 people. A lot of people didn't respond. So I was shook because I was like, does this mean this is not a good album? And they were hesitant. They told me after. They're like, we're very hesitant. Like, this is like something super different.
Yeah,
Fateh's singing.
yeah.
This is something super vulnerable that probably made them uncomfortable
Mhm.
knowing these things.
Yeah.
Because I didn't tell anybody at all. Like, well, I was feeling that. Like, you know, I'm chilling, but like I had my days. And yeah, so that made me more scared. This is 10 days before the album release.
Mhm.
I sent it to my best friends. No one's responding. So like, you know, like,
That's
you know,
almost-
what?
that's
Imagine
almost-
that you sent me a
yeah.
song
100%.
last night,
Yeah.
and you saw that I heard it. 'cause
100%.
I got the WeTransfer.
And then I
XYZ
fucking called him
downloaded
right away.
Yeah.
XYZ downloaded it, but they didn't respond.
That's almost worse than Zeus saying, "I don't know about the other album." You know?
Yeah, JJ calls you right away. As soon as
Yeah.
he said
If I
something,
send
he
you a
calls me.
song and I see you online, expect you're getting called, motherfucker.
Yeah, but you know, like honestly, like Raginder had been working on it with me, and Kushi had heard the process the whole time because I was sending him verse by verse, and Kushi and both of them believed in it so much, and I did too. Then I had a conversation with. It's funny that it's right here, but Rupi I had a conversation with
shout out
Ruby. I
Ruby
sent
Core,
her,
yeah.
and she was like, "Yo, this is gonna change your life." This album, when she heard it, I was so scared to send it to her. And when she gets to told me that, like those 3-4 people, those key people that told me that, I was like, you know what, F it, let's just do it.
That's it.
Like it would. I was like, yo, for me, for my heart, like I just need to let this out. And after that, I don't want to think about her or this anymore. I just need to get this out of my system.
Yeah.
Flip the page.
Flip the page. Let's move. Let's make some new memories.
Because you know, most people in that situation would like whatever you're feeling. You kind of, I think, normal the way to deal with the breakup is to blame the other person, right? But you actually work under yourself. Like you talk about the fact that she went through your phone and she found some shit. You know, so stuff that you did. You blame yourself a lot. You know, yeah. Well, no. and
That's me.
If you need me, 1-800-gunjar.com. Just
you know, you talk about being in New York and, you know, busting your ankle, being on the ground, looking up at the ceiling, and instead of worrying about all the people in the crowd where you just fucked up in front of, she's the first person who comes to mind, you know?
Yeah.
To admit those kind of things and put that in your work, that speaks volumes.
To be able to articulate that in music is
Yeah.
Put it
Yeah.
together, you know?
Yeah, those are like lived experiences, and like being the person I am, it would be unfair to me to just bash somebody the whole song, the whole album, which I'm even expecting she expected that.
Yeah.
I don't even know if she heard it, but like in general, I couldn't do that. That wouldn't sit well with
she
me.
definitely heard it. Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, don't want to think about that. I couldn't. Out of respect, like when you say you actually have like you care for somebody, you can't do that because then that is literally whack, right? Like just sitting there. Yeah, I did it on I did it on Ali Pond Park, but I was genuinely pissed.
We can
off.
tell. Because speaking
I
of
was
Gunjars,
so
you spoke about another
upset.
Gunjar that slid in after you
No,
moved.
Kutta Kaminaj. If I see him, his hands on.
Oh man, those lyrics I was listening to at work just the other day, and you feel the energy in that track and the things that you say.
I can't wait for my drive home right now.
Oh my god, you guys! If you haven't heard
So you
it,
took
pick
him
up
to
that
the
album.
If you haven't bought
listen
it,
to it.
buy it.
If you're gonna listen to the album, listen from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Make sure you got some time to sit down and
buy
really
it
take that in
legally
because you really feel that album
on
for
iTunes.
Let's talk about
Or
that.
Google
So
Play.
like the album is a progression.
sure. Hmm.
So when you listen to it, I don't want I guess I can give it away now. It's been out
Of
for a
course,
while.
yeah.
So it's a progression. The first song is the breakup. The last song is the reflection of her listening to the 7 songs. that
I
came
love
before
how
that.
you did that. Yeah.
So that was like that. So what happened was the last song was recorded last. I heard the whole song album, and while I was finishing it up, and I was like, man, like this will be really. I want to give her perspective in some sort of way, right? And I was gonna give it from my perspective of her, like, yo, I know you did this, or I know you feel this, and I remember you did this, right?
Mhm.
But I was like, yo, you know what would be really creative is if I just spoke from her perspective. And I know Kendrick Lamar does this a lot, and he's a god, and I listen to him a lot. And so I wrote that. Another fun fact: I didn't write anything on the album, by the way.
Oh,
It was all like, dude. When I say I was feeling away when I was recording this album, I was feeling away.
Well,
I
you
couldn't.
mean you
write.
didn't like write it down and rehearse it,
write
or
it
you just
down.
went to the mic and
I
said?
just like literally, I was feeling it, and I was like, "There's two options. I'm gonna call her. Or I'm gonna record a song."
Wow.
I recorded the song.
And you're not like a freestyle artist per se.
No.
No.
So it's not even freestyle, but like the melodies and the concepts and all that stuff. We're just like, spending 8-9 hours in the studio just recording different ideas, different verses, and just trying different things and doing that because it was very melodic, right? And
Yeah.
you can't really write a melody. You can like record melodies and stuff like that. So I was doing it all at the same time. I was writing the melody, or recording a melody, and then I was writing the verses for it and all that stuff. So, and when I say writing, it was kind of all in my head. So it was like I had 3 bars, I would lay those 3 bars down and all that. And like that last song, like I couldn't have wrote that song. The emotion of that song,
Yeah.
you couldn't read that. I couldn't have. It wouldn't have sounded the same. So I just literally like the lights were off in the studio, and I just went in and I just
yeah.
finished it.
And it sounded like I thought she had
Finished
left you like a voicemail and kind of told you. I thought you had broke the album to her and this is what her
No.
what she was saying. But that's crazy that you went from her perspective because obviously you knew her very well, so you knew the arguments you would have and what she's gonna say. And it's after you listen to the album, let me just give you the answer that she's gonna give me, kind of thing. If you were to speak to her.
It wouldn't have been fair.
Yeah.
Cause I was like, man, like by the 7th song, if you listen to just the 7 songs, it wouldn't have been fair. It was me complaining about my hurt, my pain, and rightfully so. It's my album. I can do that.
Mhm.
And what I was feeling, but it takes two to tango, and it wouldn't have been fair for me to. It just wouldn't have sat right with me, and it was in the back of my mind the whole time. Like I was just like, how do I explain her perspective? Because the listener, I can't. We're always gonna make ourselves seem amazing to the listener. And that wouldn't have said well, because I didn't want people to be like, "Yo, man, I'm so sorry for you." I want people to know, like, "Yo, she's not a bad person. Like, we just didn't click,
Yeah.
and things just didn't happen." And yeah. So I needed her perspective on it as
Oh,
well.
that's dope. What was the idea behind coming full circle with you guys and having Simmer on the outro as well? Because that was a good vibe that you guys did with that track, and it was a fun vibe, kind of like to end it off.
The reason why we had Simmer on it was because it was a female's perspective.
Yep.
And we have a female. Let's hear her say some stuff as well. And I think she wrote that in front of me, embodied it, which was amazing. And then
Emotionally captivated.
emotionally, you ain't gang, nah, you ain't gang. It
Oh,
was
man.
sick. She killed it.
Yeah.
And and it did come full circle because she started it and she ended the album.
Mhm.
So that worked out as well.
And same thing, you released it on your own, no record label. You kind of went with your gut, and you guys dropped that, and you saw similar success, if not more.
Yeah, it was a different type.
Mhm.
This time it was a lot more females that were like, yo, I got videos of people crying.
What?
Like that was
That's crazy.
crazy, bro.
I gotta
Like,
shout out the Alone video. My little brother Juppy shot that, and the one and only Harmon Dule directed it for
Mahan
you
as well,
guys.
yeah.
Mahan.
I thought you were about to
Shout
say
out
my little
Mahan.
brother cried as well.
No, no.
Yeah, I literally thought you were gonna say that.
No, I'm sure
I
Juppy
walked
cried
in my
a little
brother's
bit.
room and he was crying, and I was like, oh shit.
No, I love that kid,
No,
Juppy. He's actually
yeah.
he shot a lot of stuff for me
Yeah,
as well, and he's
Juppy the
super
one.
dope kid. Yeah, really, really nice guy.
Yeah, no, a lot of people were like sent me really heartfelt messages. A lot of people sent me videos of them crying. It was weird, like crying
That's
to the
weird.
songs. Like
You didn't
crying.
like India,
them?
like
I think-
Nah,
Instagram
nah.
videos,
Was it
like,
India?
like singing the song.
India or here, local?
No. That album worked here.
Oh wow.
It did work in Delhi though.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people liked it in Delhi, Mumbai. But yeah, like people, like a lot of people resonated with the album, and like people outside of the community, because most of the album's in English.
The whole almost, I think the entire
Yeah,
album.
I
I didn't
swear,
hear too
look,
much Punjabi on
One
that.
song, which is the prophecy song, is in Punjabi, but
Okay.
everything else in English. So then when I went to New York, I had like Asian people and Gore and like, yo, what's up? I love Ali Pump Park. That's my jam. And I'm like, that's
sick.
crazy. So yeah, it was a different type of feedback that
Mhm.
I've ever gotten. And it was like very genuine. You know what I mean? Like, yo, like and people were writing me, like, I was posting it. I think you saw on my thing. I think it's under
Yeah, I
love.
saw those.
Like, yo, people were sending me paragraphs on like the effect it had. Yo, I had I was feeling this way. I just didn't know how to explain it. And then this song explained it. And then I showed it to my girl, and then we had a conversation about it. And now we're thinking about working it out. One guy was like, yo, I was thinking about breaking up with my girl, but then your song put it into perspective of how much I would miss her.
Mhm.
And it really made me value her
Yeah.
more. It made me think about all the amazing things she has. And I know yes.
If it was me, I'd be like, I'm glad I fixed your situations. Now where the fuck's my situation?
Yo, it's cool, man. Like, it's just crazy because it's like there's the one there's like the one aspect of music where we can just be hype and make money, be famous.
Fake.
No, which is not fake. It all has its place.
Yeah, but like
right?
the feedback to that
But-
is like, yo, you killed it, yo, sick.
It's a
track,
hype man
blah, blah,
song.
blah, right? But there's no.
everything has its place. I think that this is like when they say job satisfaction, and like when you make a difference to somebody, and when somebody connects to you on that level, especially when I was making an album when I was like, I hope somebody can, I honestly was like, yo, people are gonna be like, yo, this guy's a pussy, bro, crying about a girl. Like, yo, I was literally
Yeah.
thinking about that.
Was
Like,
that
as
the babu-
guys, we have to think about
babu
that,
voice?
right?
Yeah, oh, for sure.
And another thing you have to think about is when you get so vulnerable,
Yeah.
when you get so vulnerable on a very, very public platform, everybody that you will be dealing with from that point on will know everything about you. Every girl you
100%.
date, every new person you met that's heard the album will know. And you have to answer to those questions that you
Dude,
talked about.
when you dropped that album, I was already a fan, but my respect level for you went way through. I don't post anybody's album. I post that on my shit on my Instagram, whatever. Not that anybody follows me or anything, but I mean, I posted it just out of pure love because I was like, man, this guy really put his heart and soul into this album, and you want to talk about people being a pussy? Talk about all these people who talk about the whips and the Ferraris and the Rolexes. That's easy to talk about. For me to jump on a mic and spit all that bullshit is easy, but to really speak about what you're going through, be vulnerable on the mic and put it out there when you're at your status, and you didn't have to do that for anybody. You could have
And
just
this is
made the
stuff that
album.
lasts.
Yeah.
This is stuff that where you can go back.
It was huge,
And we
man.
listened to it and we're like,
you know what? I think
"Ooh, I
everybody,
vibe with this."
everybody in here needs to make some noise for Fateh for that album,
thank
man.
you.
That was a dope project.
Thank you.
Super, like, I mean, and when I read your thing where you said, I'm terrified of dropping this album
Yeah,
and
it
I'm
was
gonna do it.
very scary.
I was like, what is he about to drop? Like, this
Yeah,
is
it threw
gang
me off
gang.
guard,
Like,
too.
we're,
I was
we're
like,
about to go
yeah.
in a gang. And
No, the best was like when people, I had to prepare people that this is not going to be gang gang.
yeah.
And the best of people was like, I can't wait till Friday so I can cry to Fateh's album. Like people had it was so funny. It had become a meme. I can't wait to cry this Friday.
Yeah,
I've never-
'cause you set
I've
it up
never-
like that with
I've never been so excited to cry in my life. It was just so
Yeah,
funny.
I remember
Yeah.
going through all the comments
Yeah.
on your
But
Instagram.
I
I don't
people
even think
saying
those
like,
people
"Yo,
who
you
were
broke my
saying
heart."
that. Yeah. I don't even think those people who were saying that expected like
No,
that.
I don't think anybody
Like,
expected
and
that.
then they
man.
sent you videos crying. So
Yeah, man, that was interesting.
No,
man.
make
I was
sure-
I was at the
Epic.
gym that night and like my DMs were going crazy. And there's like people, I was like, girl, get it, girl.
Oh, that's dope, man. No, I'm glad to hear that went well. If you haven't heard the album, if you haven't heard this album, make sure you pick up the first one. Listen to whom it may. No, sorry.
To Bring It Home.
Bring It Home. Sorry, the bags are kicking in. Bring It Home, and then To Whom It May Concern. Listen to both those. So I think that encapsulates basically who Fateh is up until this point, almost. Can we say that?
As a solo artist, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm a very versatile artist. God
Yeah.
damn. I'm the
Don't
most
worry, he's got
versatile.
some bangers coming out.
Yeah,
We know
and
this.
speaking
I
of
think this is
bangers,
the
Speaking of
we
turnaround
got to
point
talk
right now.
about
speaking
California.
of speaking
I
of
think,
Ferraris and all that.
Ferraris and all
everything
that.
against that album.
We got to take it to California where we were with you last. We had a great time out there. I don't know why you moved from California first of all to Toronto, because if it was up to me, I'd live there my whole life.
Changed my life.
Oh
Yeah.
man, and it was a good turnout.
Canada Dry.
Canada Dry, yeah, absolutely. But California is where we were. We were out in Tracy, California.
California,
Went to shoot this
man.
man's debut track
Joti
right here,
Tillno.
Joti
Debut
Tillin.
track.
I'm gonna call it debut.
Debut
because
is
it's
not
been a
even
while,
close
man.
debut, man.
When our
Which
debut
one?
This man's had tracks.
Yeah,
Don't
debut,
worry.
debut was 6 years
Okay,
ago.
I've heard this track, so I'm gonna say it's your best work that you've created till date.
Yes.
And Fateh was on it, featured on it, which you did an amazing job. We flew out to Vancouver, courtesy of J Static and KSR.
California.
Sorry, what? Yeah, California.
Except Vancouver.
Ah,
I'm
Dolo
sorry.
with the
Well, we were in
assist.
Vancouver. We were in Vancouver twice this year, man. I'm tripping. Sorry. Yeah, so we're out in California. These guys set up everything for us. They basically put together the video shoot. The track was ready.
These guys, JJ,
Yeah,
KSR.
J Static KSR. Yeah. So Fateh was out there. Coincidentally, you were just out there already, I think, right?
We planned it around
No,
you.
we planned. Yeah, we
Yeah.
were out.
Okay.
I don't think I was out there coincidentally.
You
I
were
think
going to
he-
be around that area or something.
I was in the States and then I flew down there. Yeah,
You came through. The video was shot by Dolo in house. Our friend, our brother right here.
Yeah.
That
Lots
video,
of Toronto mans in Cali. It was sick.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, it was dope.
It was very nice.
My
yeah.
first time in California, I think his as well.
Yeah.
We had a great time out there. What I noticed about you and what we mentioned earlier was how comfortable you are on the stage. And that day I noticed in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Like we would shoot your stuff and you were just on point. And
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Confidence-wise?
in music videos, you got to shoot over and over and over. But every time it was like he would just flick a switch and he's on. He's ready to go, shoot his part. And that was dope to see. I mean, what did you enjoy about that track, creating that track, jumping on it, and kind of tell us about that?
Well, I had a lot of fun shooting the video.
Mhm.
Like I said, being in Cali, my home, with my homies from Toronto, the 6
Mhm.
which was dope. Like it was like just a really dope like visual for me to be in that environment with you guys. It was sick.
And you said that actually while we were out there. You're like, "Oh, I can't believe all my Toronto mans are out there with me." Like,
see Dolo, I forgot he was rocking something very Toronto, and I was like, "Yo, this guy's a Toronto man." Like,
Yeah.
he's like here, you know what I mean? It was sick.
yeah, that was your first time you met him. I
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
is it?
yeah,
As
yeah.
well,
It was dope. Yeah, I had like the song is fire. Like you know, obviously JJ produced it. Who's my big
Dope,
brother.
dope.
Love him.
JJ and KSR.
Can we talk about the track? It's not out right now during this episode, but it should be out when this
It will
episode
be out.
drops.
Yeah.
This episode's going to probably take a month.
Can you talk about it,
And
JJ?
then talk about it how. Like we were going through Garnodula's lyrics we found something that we thought was more of like a clubby type
So
vibe.
I didn't like it at all at first.
Yeah.
I was like, "What is this? This is not me." Like,
and we
I grew
spent-
up doing Ta Divana,
Yeah.
and then these guys are telling me to sing a song called "Blonde Ball," and I'm like, "What? No."
You know what it was? It was the like, and I'm gonna be honest. Back then, this was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was like an immature, easy way into like a club environment. So we're like, yo, we like this, and I love the composition. I thought the composition was sick. Can't deny the composition. Composition's bomb. And Jyoti comes in. He's like, all right, let me sing it. And he sings it, and it's fucking Punjabi ass voice, sings it out. I'm like, nah, bro, I just nope.
I
Not
think
fitting.
Fateh said the same thing when you
Like,
showed
no,
him,
this
I think.
sounds like a fucking Punjabi song.
Yeah,
Yeah, literally.
No, okay, it wasn't
That
that
was
bad.
Fateh, bro.
It
You
was
listened,
close.
right?
But then he comes back. He's like, "Yo, should I? I'm not gonna mention any names." He's like, "Yo, should I?
Yeah.
Should I?
I basically
Make
told
it
you,
sexy.
I'm
Should
like,
I make
JJ,
it
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's it.
JJ, turn off all the lights. I don't want to, like, I shouldn't be able to see you because
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to judge me the whole time. I'm like, just turn off the lights and let me try this. And it turned out pretty good.
And he does it. Comes out, falls asleep.
Yeah. For like 3 hours, I fell asleep.
I make all the music. I call KSR once or twice, and I'm like, "Yo, what do you think of this?"
This
He's
is
like,
3 a.m.
"Can you try to do this?" I'm like, "All right, cool, peace." Did blah 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 blah. Made the song, finished it, and this guy wakes up. He's
Oh,
like,
dude.
"What the fuck? You did this in fucking I don't
This
hours,
is one of
2
those
hours."
late night things with JJ
Yeah.
again, right? I wake up 4
Saturday
a.m.
night.
It turned out from a song that I did not want to do to like, holy shit, I'm so down right now.
Yeah.
So
And,
And
then,
then-
it was like, you know who we need on this?
yes.
Mr. Young FatehDoe.
You guys decided that okay,
It's like
Fateh
so-
needs to be on this.
So
No.
I've been a fan of Fateh when he started doing
Bas,
Zeus
bas.
stuff,
Bas, bas.
then his album stuff.
Guru the
And so I've been waiting for that moment, and I'm still upcoming. I'm still trying out different things, and I didn't want to start off and ask Fateh right away, like, "Yo, can I kind of ride your wave or something?" Right?
Mhm.
But this track, we just felt it works,
It just
and
made
I've
sense.
wanted to do a track.
Yeah,
with Fateh
and I
too.
don't think it was riding a wave at all because you held your own on that track. Like you did an amazing job. You sung it so well, and then he just compliments it so
Yeah.
well. Like it
I
just
had fun
fit.
recording
Yeah.
it, man.
That
That's so
part,
fun.
it was
Yo-
almost like, what would you do if that part wasn't there where he
Yeah.
jumps in? It just fills
Buddy,
the
when he
track
said
really
when
nice.
he recorded it and then he told me, he's like, "Yo, wait till you hear this." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, wait till you hear this."
But yeah, I think that about wraps it for
That does. I think we're on our way to letting Fateh go home. But before we do,
Yeah.
I think what we need to do is to see
Fateh. You
who's gonna take the belt home.
Fateh, you got one more thing to bring home, maybe.
Oh,
This
play
is-
on words. You
we
hear
have this
that
thing-
shit? Oh,
we
Fateh
have this
missed
thing
that.
called
I'm a rapper.
Punjabi Shazam.
And don't
Okay.
feel shy because Humble took that home last week or
Okay.
last episode. He
Okay.
won that. So you want to explain the game?
Sure. Do you know what Punjabi Shazam is?
No.
Okay, so Punjabi, you know what Shazam is.
Yeah.
So Shazam is really simple. It listens to a fucking audio clip, hears it.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
it knows
yeah.
what it is, it tells you what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what we do is we have a outside perspective
DJ
who has, which is DJ Envy today.
Oh shit.
Shout out
And he
DJ
has
Envy in the building.
shout out. He has
Jeez.
6, 7 songs lined up.
All right.
What we do is we try to aim it for 4 to 5 songs.
Yeah.
We play literally a clip. It's literally like a, brum,
Like-
and that's all you hear,
It
like
would
this.
be like, I played the reverse.
That's it.
Okay.
And you have to try to figure out what the song is.
Mm.
If you get it, 1 point to you.
I'm horrible with
We go from
names.
4 to 5 songs. Well, you have to figure it out.
I'm
And these
horrible
guys are
with names.
DJs, so like
And I'm horrible,
They
but
know
this
the
guy is
legend.
overall in all the seasons. He
I'm-
has lost a few times,
I have lost.
but this
a few
guy
times.
is legit reigning champ.
I invented the game.
This little
But he beat
fucking.
me
Can we
at
talk
it.
about the
I
new
wear
belt
reigning
or
champ.
no? Not yet. We'll
Not
talk
Oh, yeah,
about it.
we, let's get it when we get it. And
So let's do it.
I think we should start. So, do you get the whole concept?
Yep.
So
And
like,
it's the first person to obviously announce
Total
what
5
it is.
songs. Whoever gets
Yeah. If you do
Best
tie,
get it.
we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
move forward if we believe
get
it's a tie.
Let's get it.
And the referee and the player will be
DJ Envy.
DJ Envy.
Oh, we don't have a
Can you do
wireless mic for
hip-hop?
him.
No, we don't. Okay, we're going back into it. This is
Yep.
Punjabi Shazam
With the mix of hip hop.
with a mix of hip hop. Father's been told what it is.
Let's do it.
He doesn't seem very confident, but
Let's get it.
he's there breathing heavy.
Let's
So we
get it.
should
Yo,
make it happen.
let's ally. Tu hip hop kari, main Punjabi gaane
You guys
karunga.
are both gonna lose, so
Wait,
let's get
Isn't
it.
it just me against all you guys? or
No,
is it
it's
just-
everybody for themselves.
Free for all.
And the winner
Gets the belt.
gets to hold the belt for 3 seconds.
All right, cool.
And Envy, once you're ready, count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
DJ
And let's
Envy.
go.
Let's go.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Yo,
Amrinder
Bendu,
Bendu, Amrinder Gill.
Oh, Fateh had it.
busy.
Don't leave me
Hello,
hanging.
Okay, yeah, there's
He's got it. Father's got it.
Fateh got one. Fateh had
Imagine
one
if
so
I didn't
far.
know. Oh shit, I don't know what that is.
That track
What
number
shit
2.
song is it?
Meri boli
Ready?
Punjabi.
Banger
Yeah,
song.
yeah, yeah, okay,
All
let's
right.
Oh,
Mob Deep.
Mob Deep.
Shook Ones.
Shook Ones.
I already got it.
Shook Ones, yeah.
Thought
You
he
didn't say shook one.
You did
Alright,
see
alright.
That's
it.
just hip hop,
Yo.
New York, right here, baby. Don't fuck with me. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
you're playing
Tu Bram
Capone
Kitty.
Noriega shirt, buddy.
Yeah, but it's still New York hip hop.
New York.
No, you know.
Stop looking at
Was
this
that
fucking
Shook
I
Ones?
didn't
screen.
look. I
That
didn't
was
look.
right.
Ah,
That Shook
yeah,
That
Ones.
was Shook
Yeah, it
Ones.
was Shook Ones.
Alright. Yo,
Oh,
Cardi B.
Cardi-
No,
Bodak
no,
Yellow,
no,
Yellow.
no, no. That's
Bodak Yellow.
ASAP
He got
Ferg,
it first.
no?
He got it first.
No, he got it first.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
He said it. He said it literally a hair. He said it a hair before me.
So right now it's 1-1-1.
All right.
Nayo Jonathan. No, shit. Yeah, Nayo Jonathan.
So Bande.
Someone the shit.
Oh, Toddy! Toddy!
I just got so many
Talk
songs.
shit about me talking too much
See, what
again.
happened
I
was
want
the
to
way
miss
my
it. I'm
bank
taking that
account
belt
works.
home and I'm never coming
I
back.
just
to
So-
got so
Daddy
many
has two?
songs.
Toddy has 2. It's 1-1.
And
Yeah.
hold on,
There's-
one.
How did I mess my own song?
I just got super nervous because I
Let me,
might
just
win
make,
today.
let me just make point of this. This is the furthest. This Dottie has never gotten a point first of all.
Never.
Well, you guys are.
Right now
Yeah.
he has 2.
So now next song,
Wow.
if Toddy gets it,
He wins.
Toddy wins.
He can
If
see
not,
the. Yo, he can see the
there's a
screen.
I swear to God,
tiebreaker.
I'm not a cheater. Yo.
Okay,
yo,
listen.
yo.
Listen, if Toddy gets it, he wins the
Yeah.
next song. If he doesn't, whoever gets the next song,
Yeah.
It could be a tiebreaker.
it could be a tiebreaker.
But if we get it, he
one of
still
us
wins.
gets it, he wins. Okay? This is the
Alright.
first time this has ever happened.
Oh my god.
Toddy, I got this for you.
All right, here we go.
Guardia the Toe.
Oh! Okay, so we're done.
I would
Fateh
have thought
is
that was.
out.
Is that Guandia though?
Yeah,
Seriously?
it
I
is.
thought it was that Lember song.
How
That
does
was
that-
that
Wow,
Lember song.
That's how good he is with the Punjabi
speed,
stuff.
my
No
friend.
wonder I never get a point.
Is it just me
I
and
thought it was
Dottie?
Tin Chicha Martian. That's the same way Tin Chicha.
Yeah.
Okay, yo.
Tin Chicha
So now we need
Martian.
tiebreaker.
Don't make it
Last
Punjabi.
tiebreaker.
So I lost. I'm out.
Yeah.
You're out.
We're out. Us three are out.
And I just want to say
Mani-
two of the songs are mine. So.
Versus Toddy. Toddy, do not stare at the screen.
I know, I can't even see this.
Ready to go?
Ready? All right, here we go.
That's it. It's a Sunny Malton.
It's Sunny Malton.
PPM.
That's it. You got it.
If I was in, I would have got that
DJ
right off
M's
the
the
bat.
champ.
I said hip hop.
Give me my
Farla.
fucking belt.
Desi
Give me
hip
my
hop.
fucking belt.
Desi hip hop right there. Shout out Sunny Malton.
That was dope. There
Good
you
job.
go.
Shout out Envy.
Shout outs to Fateh.
Shout out
Thank you.
Manit.
Shout out to
And
Want it
everybody.
one
crush
more
my
time?
dreams. I
Shout
almost
outs to
had it.
Dolo.
Maybe
Honestly,
one day.
this has been a great podcast.
Yeah,
we
you.
have
Yeah.
to admit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's one of my favorites.
I just want to. Can I just say
I'm gonna
something?
allow Kultar to speak right now.
Go ahead, KT, go ahead.
Oh, I never been
KT.
called- oh,
I like that.
KT is where we always go after the show. But
Would you like
no,
to go? Because we usually, if you do come on the podcast, we can take you out to KT after.
To our
Yes.
unofficial sponsor, Kington Turi.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Unofficial.
Free shrimp pakorde if you're into that, yeah?
Right.
So my whole point of saying this was that Fateh, thank you for coming out. We had a great time with you on the episode.
Thank you.
You definitely broke down everything that we wanted to hear from you. You gave the fans everything that we've been waiting to hear.
Thank you.
And you guys took me out of my fucking zone, so I don't want to talk anymore, but you guys end this off.
I just wanted to say
I'm glad. So, Dottie's a little butthurt right now. It's okay, though. We're going to speak to him
He
afterwards.
did a great job today.
He did do a great job. He's always been doing a great job. He's the glue of this fucking. He's the frequency and friend.
Tu glue.
Glue. But Fateh, we're happy you came out. We honestly
Definitely.
appreciate it. We're glad you came out, especially during this time
Yep.
where we actually have a song coming out together.
Also,
Yeah.
I feel like we've always like after one or two episodes with other people, we're always like, "Yo, we got to get Fateh in." Fateh is one person, that's done, and Deep is the
Yeah.
second person.
Deep
we
and Fateh
always
are-
bring
Deep
it
is
up,
somebody we got to get on
but it
for
kept getting
sure.
pushed back. So
You know what it was? It wasn't getting pushed back. For me, at least from my own personal perspective, they're so easily accessible that I want to bring them out the
Ooh,
time that's important.
important.
It makes sense for me to get these guys on.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like this was the right time from my own personal selfish perspective. I feel like it was the right
We
time.
didn't.
And I'm glad we did.
Sorry to interrupt you, JJ. Before you go, what are we expecting from you in the upcoming months, year?
Blonde Ball.
Yeah,
we're
blonde
gonna-
ball.
Other than Blonde Ball, yeah.
Blonde Ball. Another album
I
we did
got-
in New York.
I have a lot.
Is the Gang Gang album coming out?
It's not a gang gang album.
Okay.
When I say gang, stuff that sounds like not sound is in the realm of gang gang and Neil Jonathan. stuff like that.
Razi.
And you got to shout out your
Yeah.
homie that you shot Gang Gang with and did the track with.
Yeah. Rich Rocka.
Rich Rocka, yeah, he's
Rich
big
Rocka,
out in
Haji Springer,
the West Coast. Yeah.
Mandeep. Yeah. It was a solid team effort. But I just wanted to say I don't do interviews ever, this was really fun. And I enjoyed it because
Awesome.
people don't actually listen to the music, and the fact that you guys all know the music and you guys listen to it, it's enlightening for the listeners and just for me to be able to talk about the hard work I put in,
Yeah.
rather than so tell us, did your parents not like it when you rapped? You know what I mean? It's like, all right, yeah. So it's cool. I appreciate it. And thank you for
No,
having me.
thank
Yeah.
you. For
We
coming.
honestly
We
appreciate
had a
it.
great
That's-
time,
For us, that's huge because
Yeah.
that's what we aim and strive for.
Yeah.
So that's massive.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
That's it. Let's wrap it.
Make sure you guys
you,
check
Fateh,
out
for
both of
coming
his
out.
albums
There's a
if you haven't
camera here?
already.
There's a camera there, shot by Dolo. Thank you again. Your boy turned, he left.
T-Bone.
T-Bone.
TJMV.
And we're out. Till
Dolo.
next time.
Yo, respect. Next time.
Here we go. Let's go.
Yeah, I got some bangers.